The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
I forgot I was supposed to turn off my own mute. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Just children. just big fucking children that are given paper and we go, whoa, let's do something with this.
Yes.
That's all we are. Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Real BBC. Back on my channel for the first time in a month. We had to balance the books. So thank you all for coming today, or all of you who are going to come today, or I'm saying the word come too much.
Is my microphone behaving? It doesn't look like it is.
Oh, you are. Yeah, I can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Can you see it's like wibbly wobbling? Is that creating weird noises for you guys? Are you all good?
We're good.
It's fine.
Okay. All right. Fine.
It's fine.
Right. Let me know, because
Do you really believe we'd let you know if it was screwing up or not anyway?
Dude, fucking, some people are really useless with this. Okay, I mentioned this on my stream, but
Somebody through the mic. I'm getting somebody through the mic.
I was in a call with Drinker, and we were doing like catch-up stuff, and he was like, "You're gonna have to
Whisper Network.
You can't be playing your video game because the buttons are just so damn loud." And I was like, "Buttons on the controller? You can hear that?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then I was pressing them really slowly, right, to the point where not even a mouse could hear it. And he was like, "Yep, can hear that fully." And I was like, "Okay, there's some black magic shit going on here, because this doesn't make any sense." And I was like, "How is it possible that you can hear that and that I can't and even come close?" And he was just like, "I don't know, but I guess, And I was like, "Okay, fine. I guess I just won't play the game." And I was thinking about it, and I was like, "There's no chance that because I'd plugged this controller in recently that the computer itself took the controller as a microphone, right? That's not a thing that would happen."
Ooh, is it a PS5 pad?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it was. And I was like, oh, it's fucking defaulted to the PS5 as a microphone. And I was like, Drink, how the fuck could you tell the difference between me speaking through a $500 microphone and speaking through a fucking controller? And
Drinker, like, not exactly an audiophile, okay?
And he was like, "Oh, I don't know, you sounded pretty good. I don't know."
He was drunk, okay, to be fair. He's called the Drinker.
Makes me think the PlayStation controller microphone must be really fucking good. I don't know.
So other than that, how you doing, Morley?
Great. Been playing Sekiro. It's one of them great games that you hear about.
Oh, good stuff.
With the killing and the slashing and the swishing and
I saw a man throwing balls in your face.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Have you played it, Az?
I was awful. Like awful. And I just thought, this is going to be for a lot of people.
Painful?
But not me.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, my audiences have had mixed reactions having to watch me learn how to play this game, but that's what gaming is, folks.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you're right, Chad. I already played it and beat it. It was nothing. It was nothing. I completely forgot about it. I played it so fast and beat it so fast. I don't know anything about it.
I believe you. Everybody else in the world wouldn't, but I Believe you.
Probably
Lords
because
of the Fallen on Friday, Mauler.
You gonna play that?
you mean Disney?
They're the Lords of the Fallen.
I'm here all week.
Hey, it's not fair. Chapek's sad right now.
No, he's happy. He got
Sorry,
fired.
Iger. So not Chapek.
Chapek is the most happy fire dude on the planet. He's sitting, with like 3 hookers on his yacht, kind of like fucking like at the end of Trading Places is going.
Yeah.
Feeling good, Bob.
Jamie Lee Curtis is feeding him medicine and taking the top off.
Yeah, like 30-year-old Jamie Lee Curtis. Let's be real.
Today's Jamie. I mean, never mind. Gary, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm just hanging around with my flags.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I got my pirate flag.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got my Texas Burnett Tish flag. That's the Republic of Texas, baby.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll be that soon. And I got my my UK flag. I got my UK flag that I'm gonna hang on the ceiling and just taunt, most of the time. But yeah, hanging out with my flags.
You gotta be careful, or you'll be hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, those are the maps.
Hey-oh!
And I got some comic books to bag and board, but not much, as I was telling you in our very long production meeting. Mahler was in on that too. God, it was hours. I finished bagging and boarding all the comics that are in this house. Now, caveat, most of my comics are not in this house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen your storage. It's impressive. I have not seen my own storage. Either of them.
You've seen mine.
But I've seen yours. I don't know what mine looks like in Texas. I don't know what mine looks like in San Francisco, but I do know what it looks like in Comics Division's room. The little doors. Yeah. I have 2 of them. I have an attic on each side of this room.
Hey.
And it's all Hot Toys boxes. Packed. You have a little hallway that you can like kind of shimmy around. It's ridiculous. I have a problem.
We've all got those, dude. Hey. I've been clean. Not clean. I've been sorting my house a little bit, changed my bedroom around. Bit of feng shui going on. Move the bed, change the bed. Not change the position of the bed. The bed's still the same bed. I've taken the toys, which have taken over a whole wardrobe. Because I've got 2 wardrobes in the house. They've taken all of that. They've come out. They've been boxed up. They're going to head to storage. The comic boxes that are downstairs in the front room are going to come up and go into the wardrobe, and that's going to be their new home. And I'm going to be taking them out box by box, and I'm going to be changing them all to, in your hand, Gary, to my light 2s. All of it. With the full back. I need that. I need those.
Acid free. They're lovely.
There are some. I can get acid free boards, but I prefer to get the matching board. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because I need the standard size, but when they phrase it in the UK, it says current size.
Oh, phrasing.
I'm like,
Yeah, you guys do a little thing. You guys just pronounce things wrong. Put extra U's and stuff.
Everyone pronounces things wrong.
Don't know what a fucking biscuit is. Don't know what a chip is.
Oh, Gary, this is just fucking embarrassing.
For you, yeah.
For you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You're outnumbered here, 2-1. You're in the minority.
No, it's 1-1.
Well, you're outnumbered not American to American 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It takes 2 of you to equal 1 American, so fuck off. I mean, sorry, wrong button.
Where was the punchline? Oh, okay. I got a transformer.
They're making comics about Dylan Mulvaney now.
Transformer.
Oh, the Robert Kirkman stuff.
Then I got a transformer. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wonder why the sales are so high for that book. How many freaking variants does it have?
I got 4. The Decepticon one's downstairs.
Okay.
But I got 4. But there were, I think,
comic
more.
book industry, mainstream comic book industry that is not only dead, you're long dead. You're buried. You've been exhumed. You've been autopsied twice. You've been reburied. You're dead. But if you want to see where you're really at, moratorium on all variants. No variants. Don't sell any fucking variants. Just sell books based on stories with dynamic covers. One fucking book. And that will give you a very harsh reality. Even your best-selling book would be 35,000. 40,000. In a country of 331 million documented citizens. You can add about 12 million on it undocumented.
Or as I like to call it, the minority of Americans.
Yeah, well, they're not buying comic books.
No, I was talking about documented citizens.
Documented?
Documented.
What was I saying about your fucking language?
That's not our fault. That's his fault.
He went to your education system. He went to your schools. He went to your churches. He went to your institutional learning facilities. You don't even know what I'm talking about right there, you young punks.
It's probably
School? I'm aware of that.
American. Yeah, I'm aware of school.
Chat'll know.
Yeah.
I want one Pepsi. And she wouldn't give it to me.
Oh, I think I do know, but I can't. This is on Sunday, on Afternoon Tea with Az. This Sunday, Akin Moron coming through. We're coming through. We're coming through your PS5 pad. We're gonna be talking Batman Year 2.
When?
This Sunday on Afternoon Tea with Az.
Oh, that's good.
So that's if you're gonna turn up to Afternoon Tea with Az on Sunday, and you want some homework, go get yourself a copy of Batman Year 2. Whether it be these sexy beasts or whether it be the trade paperback, because we're gonna be talking about it.
You want some good news?
Sure.
Film Actors Guild still on strike.
Yay! So you're trying to say they're a bunch of anyway, let's
What's the dealio? Why would they have given like a good deal to the writers and not just give a good deal to the actors as well?
Because I mean, I put it down to actors being dramatic.
Yes.
They're being little bitches right now.
100%.
They wanted to drag it out a little longer because they were told that that they'll pretty much sign a deal within a week of the writers, and they're all, oh no, don't you know who we are? We are the Film Actors Guild.
Yeah.
So we're gonna delay negotiations. We're gonna make all the CEOs show up. They, for some reason, aren't negotiating today. So they're going to negotiate tomorrow. Probably gets done within the next couple of days. But they wanted to drag it out another week so they would have their time in the sun.
This is our time now?
Because we need to spotlight again.
Oy, oy, oy.
And
it's
different. It's different stuff. The writers, objectively, the writers had a much bigger beef than the actors. Like a much bigger beef than the actors. Because of residuals, because of the way the corporate setup was going on with the writer's room and the mid-writer's room. Now, caveat to that is nobody forced the writers into these little mini writing rooms. Nobody was like chaining you up and making you go in this fucking room. You did it on your own, knowing you might not get paid. Then you bitched about it later when you didn't get paid. And you and these, a lot of these fuckers pay for representation. They got agents. There's middlemen up the fucking ass, and women. But I didn't know I wasn't gonna get paid for my shit. And there's been so much shit. So people like Vox are running out with articles. This is how retarded corporate media has become, going, God, it took the writers a long time to sign this big win. No, it wasn't. They lost. They fucking lost. Hollywood lost. They're going to be halved in the next couple of years. Halved.
Do you want to see some talented comic book writing?
Trade school. Oh, that you want to talk about another industry that's already been it's quartered and drawn and quartered.
Last Wednesday when I was chatting to Eric, might have just brought up Max Versacchio's GoFundMe, which is pretty much every month now. And
is this Superboy ish?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Max
Superman,
Versacchio, who's such an incredible name in the industry, such incredible. Everyone wants work from them. Has to do a GoFundMe every month because they have no money. The person who put Vagrant Queen on the Sci-Fi Channel, and she gave
person. People gave her money and bought the rights to put that show on the effing air. And I don't know if you've seen it. Everybody's talking about fucking Robin Hood right now, and Robin Hood shit. Vagrant Queen is 1,000 times worse.
No, Sci-Fi paid her goose egg.
What did she take it for experience or
took it for paid in exposure?
Paid in exposure, whatever.
That's what I've been informed by.
You know what? They overpaid.
Yeah.
They fucking overpaid by giving her nothing. Okay? Because again, as bad as Robin Hood is, and it's fucking bad, Vagrant Queen is 1,000 times worse. 1,000 times worse.
I wouldn't know. You wouldn't catch me watching it even.
Oh, I watched it. I had to watch it.
The show that got it's a Max Versacchio property about trans lesbians, probably. This is Max's incredible idea about what to do with Connor Kent.
Wait. Forget the however it identifies. Look at those eyes.
Oh,
just focus in on those eyes. So this is like having a meth head in your family that you're just giving meth to all the time. This reinforcing their meth headness, their addiction. This is that is not a healthy people don't have eyes like that. They just don't.
Somebody said, "What flag is that?" That's the flag for the United States of Comply. So this is.
By the way, this is the person who said they would take a bat to somebody's head for basically not agreeing with it's his, hers, what the fuck ever they want to play as the person and woman face.
Preferred pronoun.
Person and woman face. Identifies that as 100% lock stock. This is the person who would take a bat to your head.
This is the person.
I want to take a bat to my head if I ever read any of person and woman faces.
Don't contact them, chat. We're just informing you of stuff. Don't contact them. That's exactly
okay.
Do not.
They are. We don't need to add to their suffering.
Yeah,
we don't.
They have to exist as themselves.
Yeah.
This is the same person who also tried to cancel Sean Gordon Murphy for love bombing them, and by love bombing, being polite to them as they tried to coerce them into doing work with them, and they just politely didn't want to do it. But because he didn't do work with her, maybe what preferred pronoun? Because Sean Gordon Murphy didn't do work with them, but was polite to them. That meant he was love bombing preferred pronoun, and I think that's pretty much why they're never going to get work at DC again. Anywho, this is their crazy great original, stonkingly, absolutely out of the box thinking idea for Connor Kent. Connor Kent, aka Superboy. Most people will know Connor Kent from, Leather Jacket, Tom Grumet. I don't know, whatever you pronounce the name. Great, Reign of the Superboy stuff. Since it's never going to happen, wow, we agree on something. Yes, I was going to make Connor Kent a trans girl that looks identical to me. I give you Skyrocket.
It doesn't look like
Skyrocket.
Doesn't look like her face.
Never mind the beginning bit. The name Skyrocket. That sounds like a fucking name for a dildo.
Well,
Just
pretty good
saying.
name for a dildo.
It is a good name for a dildo, but it's not really a good name
Look.
for
Nurkish is still alive.
a super.
Remember Nurkish? Back in the day? Back in the old days? I do. Maybe you don't. Chat will.
No.
He's in that. He's commented. He commented under memology. Hail memology, by the way.
Yes, big hail to Momology.
Yeah.
I give you Skyrocket, my master plan for a story that will never happen. Can I add thank Christ onto the end of that? And as you can see, this is just a mag self-insert to go with all the other industry self-inserts that create the same fucking story, taking beloved characters, doing the same fucking shit over and over. But it's us that the bad guys.
Here's where we are. Remember in the summer of love.
Mm.
I need to get a sound effect in my board, like when I go, remember, and we go, remember?
Yeah.
During the summer of love and COVID, and the comic industry was falling apart, and they had a chance to get together. They had a chance to pull together, and Gail Simone actually had a good idea. It's like, hey, maybe we should do a Marvel DC crossover event. Maybe we should. Do
In all
like
fairness,
that.
that's an idea that's been fucking done. But yeah,
Dude,
sure,
no,
sure, Gail, you take credit.
Whatever, whoever came up with the idea that she stole, it was a fucking idea. You know what wasn't a good idea? The president of DC Comics selling a sketchbook.
Yeah.
And everybody making their profile pictures black in solidarity with the people who were or the organization with that was burning down America, and calling all of their paying customers racists and Nazis for 2 fucking years, and the fucking industry died. When they could have come together, they actually broke up Diamond. They could have worked together to get a better distributor instead of having a comic book shop essentially distribute your stuff now. And then all the fucking whiny bitch comic book shops who sucked on Diamond's dick and kept the comic shop industry from growing whined and bitched.
How many
and then had to
comic
close
shops are left in America? Gary?
Not much. Brian Hibbs had to close the story bought from me.
Yeah.
Meltdown Comics, one of the biggest and fucking great comic shops in LA, had to shut down. Now we have Joe Field from Flying Color Comics, been around for 35 years, one of the best retailers alive, creator of Free Comic Book Day, thinking about bailing out.
Damn.
Which is sad. Good guy, by the way. If you go to his shop, he's a very nice person. He's got a lot of nice staff there. It's in Walnut Creek, California. Yeah.
What's it down to? About 1,800, is it?
Was that? It's down to about 1,800. It was 3,500 when I sold my shop. We don't know an exact number because Diamond never gave it out, although they knew it. And they did conflate a lot of online stores, but there were parameters, but they were very low. Did you know there was at one time when Marvel and DC were going there, if your minimum was, correct me if I'm wrong, if there's any retailers in chat, I think it was $1,500, $2,000, you could order from Diamond every month just as a customer. You can get a resale license and just order from Diamond and get your shit at cost. Yeah, you could have done that and said, oh, I've got an online store, and they make an online store, but you're just collecting your own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that counted as a comic book store too.
Sold out.
So I would say knock 500 off that, say 3,000 comic shops. So it's halved in 10 years when it was growing. It was just constantly growing, even through the dark times. Like comics survived the fucking late 90s and Marvel's bankruptcy. And the aughts were awesome. They were great. Comics were riding high. Not so much anymore. Now it's fragmented, and this is probably a good thing. It's fragmented, and it's going back into where back into where it's niche again. That's where it belongs. That's where it needs to be.
Gary, it's niche because there's nobody fucking left buying comics.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm going to my Barnes & Noble later today for a reason, for things. for stuff
Stuff and
possibly
things.
for a project I'm working on. Go check out how big the manga section is. I bet you it's grown.
That's what she said.
I bet you it's grown, and I bet you the comic book, the American comic book section was on 6 shelves that were waist high, and all the books were faced has shrunk.
Trunk.
Oh well. Hey, you want to know one of the reasons it shrunk? Mahler, did you ever see Iron Fist on Netflix?
Only clips. I've been told by everybody to stay away from it.
So you know what he looked like in the show, right? Okay.
Well, yeah, he's Loras from Game of Thrones, right?
Yes.
Yeah. A little twink basically played Iron Fist, but I mean, he is in real life, I think, too, which is fine. That's okay. Don't see him as Iron Fist, though. And you also saw, did you see Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Bracelets, Mahler?
Yes.
Okay. So you know what Simu Liu looks like.
Yes.
So now do you want to see what Shang-Chi and Iron Fist really look like? This guy right here would make Simu Liu his prison bitch.
Cry. Yeah, he would. Yeah.
That's fucking Shang-Chi and Iron Fist.
Well,
that lady's got to be careful. Her titties are popping out.
X-Ray Girl's being held prisoner right there.
Oh my god!
It's such a fucking great book. Yeah.
I hope that's the sports bra.
What they took from you.
what?
What they took from you, motherfuckers. These fuckers took this. So when they bring Iron Fist back, it'll be Asian, lesbian, still be a man. And
they've not confirmed anything about like a Shang-Chi 2, right?
No.
they announced that they are thinking about it.
They announced they're thinking about it.
And then Simu Liu came out and said, they haven't said anything to me because you're the fucking male. I can't even say male Brie Larson anymore. He's the male Rachel Zegler.
That's what you got. You got a plastic red top and women's black yoga pants.
Yeah. And he's supposed to be Bruce Lee. He's supposed to be Bruce. Look at that. Look at how fucking badass that looks. But then you got this guy.
It's no Simu Liu.
No.
Because
He can do a mean Ken in Barbie.
They greenlit so much stuff, but I think now that they're not going to be doing that so much anymore, right? Rushing.
This is gonna be a woman. White Tiger.
Sorry, you mean White Tigress?
Well, I mean, no, they'll call it the White Tiger, dude. This Woman King, bro. King Valkyrie.
Oh yeah.
White Tiger. Okay.
Oh, burning bright.
You forget who you're talking about here.
Yeah, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah,
So I wonder if they've kind of battened down at this point, and then they're like, they can't just entertain any random shit like they used to, 2019-20 era. They were like, an Agatha Harkness show, yeah, go for it. An Echo show, yeah, go for it. These days, like Simu Liu was desperate to get that sequel running for Shang-Chi. They're like, oh, that's great, we'll call him.
Well, there were aspects of the mainstream media after the terrible films were coming out, like Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, who were just announcing that sequels had been announced, and they hadn't. They were trying to create something.
I remember after the Mando season 2 finale, there was like big old rumors about a Luke Skywalker TV show that went nowhere.
Yeah.
So it always seems like these things are done just to test out what everyone's saying, right? And
you're absolutely right. It's a marketing ploy. Mm-hmm. So they announce it prior to, or while a final episode. So we'll say for Disney Plus, while a final episode is currently running within 48 hours, 72 hours of if they gauge it's popular enough, right before it, or right before a movie comes out. Right before a film comes out, they'll announce a Rian Johnson trilogy. They'll announce a sequel to Shang-Chi. They'll announce a sequel to Captain Marvel. I'm not sure if that one's true, but they've done it like multiple times, and they do it as a marketing ploy to say, oh, there's interest in this. It's like, oh, it's getting a sequel. It must be good.
Do you see what was getting announced about Ahsoka season 2?
they're thinking about it.
Yeah, they couldn't say it's happening. They can say it's being thought about. It's being discussed.
Other season 2s were announced well before,
Yeah,
or within a week. You know,
So
She-Hulk
interesting.
season 2 was announced in
The gears are so slowing down. It's finally catching up to them hardcore now. Everything is slow.
I was told specifically that. So I'm sorry. I want to apologize in advance. I usually don't do this sources rumor shit, but Garrett was standing right next to me when I had this conversation. So if you at least believe 3/4 of them, then it's a joke. Then he could verify that I heard this, but they absolutely know they fucked up at this point. It's like so fucking undeniable, and they're gonna try to turn things around, but it's not like they can. They should, but it's not like they can outright cancel the stuff that's coming out. Although they tried to cancel Echo, they gave it a good, solid effort, but for legal reasons, they could not.
Just for this is for chat. Hey QBG, for chat members who are talking about the Ahsoka 1980s trailer.
That's not. It's only a quarter racist, Garrett. Okay, get your facts straight.
I have put up a reaction video before this stream. I am reacting to the 1980s Ahsoka trailer. If you want to see it, guys, we can go through that.
We can. It's quite good. It's quite good.
I thought it was excellent.
I thought it was going to be a gimmicky thing, and then I found myself being like, I want to watch this show.
I want to watch the show. Well, because the trailer's it's honest. It's an honest trailer, vintage trailer, but better than honest trailers.
Yeah, they make it seem a lot more fun, and they seem to have cut out all of the gaps in the entire show.
Okay, in all seriousness, that one word is what Disney Star Wars has been missing since day one. Fun.
Fun.
Oh yeah, fun.
Fun is a 4-letter word, dude. When it comes to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
When that trailer introduces Hera, it's like with the heart of a pilot having only things to say.
Yeah, just
with the heart of a pilot.
Because
she's always dressed ready to pilot.
It's so crazy because you compare like our thoughts on the show after maybe 2 or 3 episodes versus after the finale comes out, and it's like everyone's pretty much in the same place. The characters, nothing happened.
No, it's a absolutely terrible garbage show.
Such a terrible show that by the end, nobody gave a fuck about.
No.
Nobody gave a fuck about.
And you can tell because we've gone from Ahsoka to 2 days later, Loki. And with Ahsoka had been very popular, very well watched, which we know it isn't. Episode 5 is probably going to get a good boost because of Anakin, but it'll go back down after episode 5. Loki looks like it has the half of its original viewership from season 1.
Dude, you can just tell. Whatever fucking minutes come blurting out from fucking Nielsen or we'll get Zombie TV, and I think that's probably a better gauge, but it's just a gauge. There is no interest in Loki.
Just call me?
You're a gauge.
No, you're a Peckerwood.
Like House of Dragon season 2. It's like I'm assuming we all expect the numbers for that to be bigger than season 1, right? That's a reasonable bet.
Based off the first
episode,
reaction.
Absolutely. The first episode will, especially considering what the episode is, Mahler. It's going to come out the gate on fire.
If someone said is there anything to that then beyond just the quality of these shows? It's like, well, the thing is, not only are you now watching a show like, let's say, fantasy that's fun and interesting and stuff, you've also got a load of threads that are developing, characters you're invested in, and events that have happened that are going to lead to other things. Loki season 2, I genuinely want to ask the people who loved the first seasons, what are you looking to see happen? Because there's nothing to hold on to. I've seen the first episode. I assume you guys have as well, Loki.
Yes, I have. Yes, it's quite nothing.
I'll get to compliments in a second because there's a tiny few, but flaws immediately. Yeah. When we started it up, we were just like, he's like talking to, he's like, Mobius, you don't remember me, and he's like, no. And we were just like, I don't have anything to go on here. I don't know who he is or what they know or where they are or why any of this matters or what any of it means. I got nothing. It's probably the most lost I've ever been watching a TV show or a story unfold. I have nothing.
I was really confused because at the end of season 1, we got that scene where he's like Morbius and he said it's morbing time. I know it's meant to be. It's Mobius. I thought it was Morbius, and Paul Chato thought it was Morpheus. But he came back at the end, and he was like Mobius, and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "What?" And then he looked outside, and the statue was Kang.
Mm-hmm.
But that's meant to be in the past. It's still meant to be
apparently he's in the past. Sylvie sent him through to the past in the TVA by accident.
By accident in a TVA where you can't go to the past.
His teleporting randomly has been incredibly beneficial. And I was like, are they going to reveal?
Here's what their explanation is going to be if you didn't catch it. The minute she killed King at the end of Loki season 1, everything started raveling. Yeah. And that's supposed to explain Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange mom. Now, they haven't said this. They haven't explained it. They haven't showed it in anything, but that's what's supposed to have happened.
But according to Doctor Strange 1, the multiverse already existed.
I know, because the very second his heart is pierced, the multiverse exists. That means it always existed. I'm not saying it makes sense. It's fucking stupid, but that's what they're going to say.
Yeah, because you're right. As soon as you make it exist at any point in time, it existed in all points in time.
Because your criticisms,
the past and the future,
dude, even like shill critics are saying like, wait a minute, how do we get 3 Spider-Man and Spider-Man if there was no multiverse before the system? I said, like, what the fuck?
Well,
how did the multiverse always exist if it never existed?
When Loki was like, we got to get to the temporal loom in order to fix time and get me back by pruning me when I get the correct amount. I was like, none of this is, nobody's following this.
Well, the chat says killing Kane would make nothing unravel. And you would be right. Because they didn't explain, like, all right, if you kill him, how does that make the machine break? Because it's a machine. It's basically
they totally made up the temporal loop. That wasn't referenced at all in the first one, not even slightly. They're just making shit up. And by the way, Michael Waldron's not writing this season, from what I checked.
No, it's his assistant.
He's credited as creating the show. And it was funny. I saw people on Twitter celebrating his writing, and I was like, it's not even him. And even if
they are,
and it's not even good. So
no, it's not good.
It's not good.
Impossibly hard to follow. Though I thought like there were 2 lines. I was like, that was kind of funny. That's why I didn't believe Michael Waldron had written it. So I was like, I don't think he knows how to do comedy. Somebody else did this. Turns out that was true.
What 2 lines were funny? I didn't chuckle once.
I thought it was kind of fun when they were comparing whether or not getting all your skin ripped off or being torn out through time was more painful. And when Mobius ended the conversation with, like you'd be alive, but it'd be really like it would be really awful or something. And I was just like, it was kind of fun.
I'm going to tell you why that annoyed the fuck out of me, because and it's not because of that scene alone. It's the combination of Marvel humor taking away any kind of fucking stakes. I'm like, you are looking at the universe unraveling, and like I like some of the production design. I do. I love the hitchhiker-ish. British-ish, fucking weird-ish bureaucracy.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking kind of cool. So you have the time unraveling, and they're like, oh, you got 5 minutes. You got 10 minutes. And I like Ki-Hu Kong, by the way. I think he's great. I think he's
Sorry,
fucking...
can you do that impression again?
No, I'm not going to do it. No, wait, I can.
People.
Okay.
There we go. There you go.
So, no, I think he's good in it, like, because he's funny and we like him and we love his story and I root like hell for him. I got nothing bad to say about that guy at all. I think adding him was a pretty fucking smart move by Kevin Feige, and a dumb one by Kathleen Kennedy by not putting him in the fucking Indiana Jones movie when you had plenty of time.
Yeah.
Watch my I Fix Indiana Jones 5 movie.
Yeah, watch that. So I think but that annoyed the shit out of me because it takes away any stakes. It was just like, let's jokey joke.
That might be
you better sprint back.
You and I didn't get a sense. Like I said, I had nothing to go on, so I'm not even watching a story unfold. I'm just watching actors deliver lines.
That's why
when watching why am I blanking on his name? Guy who plays Mobius.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson. When he says,
you forgot my name. Wow.
Someone put the quote in chat when he says, "What's the quality of life without fear?"
Wow.
The thought that was funny, but like
Yeah.
only in isolation, right? Like because
Yeah.
if he were to take any of this seriously even for a second, everyone's minds would explode in that universe. Nothing makes any fucking sense at all. The fact that when he goes back in time and it can perfectly ask for the device he needs and it'll be ready at the time that he'll arrive in the future, I was just like, I'm not even going to bother thinking about this. There's just no fucking point. But watching the three of those actors mess around while walking around, I was like, at least I can vaguely enjoy the fact that the three of them are acting. Tom Hiddleston, man, I feel really bad for him watching the episode. He's trying. There's a load of deliveries. He was trying to put some emotion in there, and I was like, oh, you poor soul. It's all for nothing.
Yeah, but it is all. Yeah, well, thank you. You put that last line on, which was yes, it's all for nothing, because there is no. It's Marvel. They never let anything sit. They never let anything just simmer with you. They have to get something goofy and something stupid. Oh my God, we did a serious line. We got to break it up now. No, we're talking about if right. Hiddleston's running around trying to be serious about how devastating it is for Kang to return, and we're watching the show like, no.
No, yeah.
Because we saw you stab one of them in the last season.
The clown one.
And then we saw fucking Ant-Man beaten with a bunch of communist insects. And it's just like, so how are we meant to give a fuck? You know, we can't go with you on this because it doesn't make sense to us. We're seeing Kang's getting defeated relatively easily.
Yeah.
And so... something has to be set up for the stake to be there, and it hasn't been set up.
Imagine. Remember the Marvel shorts? Imagine Thanos getting defeated in a Marvel short twice. That's what this is equivalent to.
As is completely fucking right, because the performance Tom Hiddleston gives is for a character I've never seen before. Like when he says like the fear he has in his delivery and how we need to be careful about Kang. I was just like, wait, what? Who are you talking about? Like this is I don't even get it coming from Loki, to be honest with you. I don't really understand why he's delivering that information that way. Because I guess he got really scared from what Clown Kang said, but I don't really know why. You know what I mean? And it's like I saw people sharing that scene and being like, "This is how you start to increase the intimidation of a villain." And I was just like, I think it's too late to do that. Yeah. You've seen too many iterations of Kang be shit. Like. You throw a good one at us now, it's just gonna be confusing.
Well, and here's the problem that they know they have now, because we have data showing this. Go to DC. You have a bunch of shit. You release it over 2 years, and we're talking 2 years. Quite frankly, outside the Joker and the Batman don't count. Those were successes. The only success from Warner Brothers, mildly, was the Snyder Cut being released on fucking Max. Even a movie I liked a lot, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, bombed.
Yeah.
They've all fucking bombed. Birds of Prey, bombed. The Suicide Squad, bombed. Everything is fucking bombed. Actually, Black Adam's probably the better of outside of the Suicide Squad. Black Adam's probably the best of them with, Dr. Fate, because it was awesome. But Dr. Fate was awesome. But everything else bombed, and it's done irrevocable damage to the brand. Yeah, so no matter what the fuck you come out with, no matter what Superman movie you come out with in 2 or 3 years, dude, all those movies affect it. All those movies affect your overall brand. And Henry Cavill, so your best shot was making a good Superman movie, and you pissed off a lot of Superman fans by not casting Henry Cavill when you fucking could have, when you easily could have. Anyway.
We deal with as best logic as we can. Sure, we have our suspension of disbelief, but we deal with as best logic as we can. Okay. It doesn't make logical sense for Batman to jump in front of Superman to stop him from being shot. Correct?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
That makes no sense.
Okay. So why would a mortal throw himself in front of an immortal to save him?
In what reference?
As in Dr. Fate sacrificing himself.
Oh, okay.
To save Connor.
I'm like, what movie are you talking about?
Carter,
yeah, no, that was
Carter.
that was retarded.
who's going to be reborn because he's immortal. He will be reborn.
Yep. It was
Oh, wait, I
retarded.
didn't even know about that. Carter's
Yes.
immortal?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Carter Hall's immortal.
So it was really stupid.
Yeah, that's not something I knew.
You know, Black Adam, I think, is the film that lost the least amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're dealing with here. That's the level that we're dealing with.
It's the more consistent, solid turd.
Yeah,
A
I
little
actually
easier to
think
pass.
There's more to praise about Black Adam than any of the others that flopped. So it's kind of funny how that all lined up, because I think the results of Black Adam made people think like, oh, The Rock can't carry it. But the fact is, nobody could carry Black Adam. I don't think he was never going to be super successful. I mean, obviously, if it was a way better script, it may have had a better chance. But it was indicative of the superhero trend crashing and burning.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're making. All right. Well, you tell me if you agree with this statement or not. But they're making superhero films for inverted commas everybody, i.e., normies, however you want to place them. Would you say that is a fair statement or not a fair statement? They're trying to get as many people as possible into the cinemas to watch their superhero film.
Sure.
Remember when I like to crush pussy?
Okay, so let's say we're okay with that as a statement. Why are we putting characters, making films about characters, Black Adam, Blue Beetle, even the Suicide Squad, no matter how good it was, the Suicide Squad, why are we putting characters like that into their own films when the normal person, the populace, will have no idea who they are? People know who Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, what I was going to say, Batman, Spider-Man. You know, they know who these characters are because they are pop culture icons.
I love this, by the way.
And
It's fucking awesome.
some even by, I love those sort of shiny ones. Even by default, some other characters will get drawn in. But even though a comic book fan or a pop culture fan will likely know who Green Lantern is, I don't think a lot of normies outside of that know even who Green Lantern is. Hal Jordan, never mind that. Never, not even
Kyle Rayner? No.
Kyle Rayner, absolutely not at all. Maybe Hal Jordan, absolutely not Alan Scott.
So, okay.
Absolutely not.
Depending
Kyle
on
Rayner.
age demographic, some will know it from the Super Friends, the later years, right? And in passing, but like millennials and beyond, fucking no idea.
So you're already up against it. So if you're going to make a Green Lantern film or a singular Flash film, not bringing in Batman or anything, or a Martian Manhunter film to try and set them up for a future Justice League, you have to adjust your budget accordingly, because you can't give 200 million, 250 million to a Green Lantern film and say, right, we got to bring in 750, awesome by Kelly, 750 million to break even. You're not giving those films a chance because the character hasn't had a chance. You're going to make a Green Lantern movie, you've got to say, yeah, I'll give you a budget of 75 to 100 tops.
So
Absolute tops.
Yes, and then you make a Green Lantern origin. The Green Lantern, the Silver Age Green Lantern origin. That's what you do.
Starring Ryan Reynolds.
No. But it's something close to, you know what? I'll defend the first 15 minutes of that movie. The first 15 minutes of that movie, pretty good.
With his showing his dad and stuff.
Yeah, when they're showing the origin and the ring getting down there and the first 15 minutes of the movie, I was engaged, and then it went to shit.
Sorry, is it Abin Sur?
Abin Sur fucking crashes.
Yeah. Because
it's pretty good.
Relatively comic accurate.
Then it gets stupid. But
from Parallax.
Oh my God, that cloud at the end. I just remember it did it scared the shit out of my son. He was super young at the time, right? And he never got scared for stuff. But man, he's like, oh, I'm out.
I got scared at the CGI.
We had to bail out. Yeah, maybe he knew something. But
dude, it's so crazy because that was like the first full CG suit, and it distracted everybody who was so garish. But it's like that's pretty much what they do these days.
Yeah.
A lot of people's suits are just full CG now.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
we laughed at it back then. It was a joke, remember? Well, because his head looked like it was floaty, but like, does it look that different from Endgame? Go look at Robert Downey Jr.'s head at Endgame, and it looks like a bunch of floaty heads.
Yeah.
Real quick on that note. Why? I mean, this is really simple, but like Hollywood's retarded. So, how did the Marvel Cinematic Universe succeed? It was based on its first few movies. And one of them didn't even do that well. But in their first few movies, they just did the comic book origins. That's all they did. It was really simple. We threw in a villain. The villain wasn't even the most important thing. The most important thing was developing the character. I like the first Thor movie, especially looking back on it now. It's fucking Shakespeare compared to the shit we're getting now. Of course, Iron Man kicked it all off. Hulk, could have been better. The CG sucked. Captain America: First Avenger, completely underrated. Great film. Fucking love it. And I like Thor, but all of them were, there's your origin story. Here's your character. Go.
Speaking of origin stories, I've just had word that there is in a multiverse of the real BBC, the guys are showing off their favorite Vagrant Queen issues.
Oh my god.
Okay, I agree with that needs to be pruned. I agree with Kang. We need a sacred timeline where that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut that portal to the multiverse quick. But you've got to give your heroes the appropriate. But for Blue Beetle to have a budget of $125 million is absolute lunacy.
It's stupid.
Lunacy. I mean, I would even say 125 million was too much to give to Green Lantern or the Flash. Certainly the Martian Manhunter. I love the Martian Manhunter, but I don't think, I don't think it'd make that money. So to give Blue fucking Beetle, based off the fact that it's got Miguel in it from Cobra Kai, was that the selling point? Because I don't know what the selling point of Blue Beetle was, other than the director saying, it's a film for my tiny little fucking community.
Okay, but like, it made no sense. But Miguel, at least, like, I think he can be a good Blue Beetle. I have no problem with them keeping him for another movie with a completely different director, completely different writer, completely different caterer, completely different key grip, everything else. I am fine with them. Even Viola Davis, I think she'd be.
You gotta keep Susan Sarandon.
I think you need to keep Susan Sarandon just for her tits.
Her performance was phenomenal. I need to see her try and grab more phones. That are
she
on
was
the floor.
George Bush, Hillary Clinton. It was pretty.
If she isn't nominated
Nikki
for
Haley.
Best Supporting Actor,
I'd love to see her reaction to being nominated for Best Supporting Actress. She'd be like, "What?"
There's chewing scenery, and then there's just not giving a fuck.
There's chewing scenery, and then there's sharding scenery.
Yeah,
the exact opposite.
Shitting it out.
But can we get back to? I mean, I know we don't want to talk about Loki, but can we get back to like how fucked up the multiversal saga is? Like how like stupid it is, and how nobody gives a shit anymore. Like I think we all thought Loki season 2 would lose audience because there is a bit of a rule. I'm not going to say it's a law in reality, but it's a bit of a rule when it comes to sequels, when it comes to brands. For example, Doctor Strange mom greatly benefited from No Way Home, from the previous movie. Lots of goodwill was built up. It created energy. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, you guys didn't like it as much. I liked it, but I'm not going to say it's the greatest movie ever. But it's one that generally people liked. Suffered from the previous movie by having a very, very low box office, and it recovered later. It probably would have been $1 billion movie if it wasn't for the shitty movie before it, Ant-Man. It probably would have been.
Pissed off everybody. So shit.
Yeah. So Loki, which is coming off of Loki season 2, but it's also coming off your last Marvel series, Secret Invasion, where they ended it by shitting out, and I mean shitting out at the end, the most powerful character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a female Super Skrull, another fucking gender swap, female Super Skrull, because Super Skrull's male, by the way. Gaia, with Drax's masturbation arm, Amelia Clark, where somehow she got rings and fucking tattoos through DNA.
It makes sense.
And magic, which is learned behavior. It's not in your fucking DNA.
How did she kill the other Super Skrull? How did that make any sense?
Why'd you hate women, Gary?
Who had equal power, and if you have equal power, the bigger person is stronger. I think in most cases, I think that's kind of nature, but whatever. Then you wouldn't have equal power.
Well, but she yelled really loud.
He was bigger.
She went,
she could go to the manager better than he could.
Oof. All day, every day.
And everyone placing bets on when we'll see her again. Who knows?
So,
maybe years.
So Secret Invasion, which we just thought was like this fucking shitty show that most of us weren't even going to pay attention to. We're like, whatever, we'll get around to it. Turned into be like this kind of cultural moment of shit with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it leads into Loki. And it did hurt Loki. It absolutely hurt Loki. And now it doesn't help Loki is the first episode was 10 minutes of setup stretched out over 40 fucking minutes.
Mm.
Now,
that's,
of any
that's
show,
the Marvel way, though. That's the Disney way.
Why didn't you release the first 2 episodes? Oh, I know why. Because your show's only 6 episodes long, and nothing happens.
That would be funny though if they were like, let's release the first 4 to the public, not just to reviewers. Then they're like, but sir, that's basically the whole season.
That's the whole season. So, Chris Gore, you out there, buddy? Show up in chat if you're out there. He saw the first 4 episodes, and he says basically nothing happens till the end of the 4th episode. And then I'm told by somebody that they, quote unquote, stick the landing in the final episode. And I'm all, how do you stick the landing?
There's no
in the
landing.
final episode when you didn't take off?
Yeah.
There's that, but there's no landing gear. There's no platform. There's nothing. Like
is staying on the ground, sticking the landing? I don't know, Mahler.
Well, they didn't move. They didn't fall over.
But it's supposed to set up the entire multiverse, like everything that's coming out.
God, it's so funny.
Sake!
It's like
we're in phase 5.
They're only beginning to multiverse when everyone's already fucking done with multiverse.
I know. I mean, isn't that what they said about season 1?
Hey, just imagine if you'd set up the multiverse. I don't know. Ooh, phase fucking 4.
Hey, remember when they said Thor was going to go through a midlife crisis and find himself for the 8th time?
The 8th time, yeah.
This is it. Again, we're just going to start repeating shit because we're not keeping track of anything. And
nobody's watching the previous movies who makes the new stuff in the MCU.
Is Chris
I actually think it's to the point now where if you get like a new writer or director and then they're like, oh, you're going to be making a Thor film, you're going to check out the other Thor movies, they'd be like, why would I check?
Okay.
It's going to take ages.
Matt Sunday says Chris Gore is not a reliable source of quality. Okay, he liked the beginning of She-Hulk. We're not going to let him ever forget that. But
I will never forget that.
I will never forgive you for that. But outside of that, I think Chris Gore is a pretty reliable source of quality for the most part. Hi, Chris.
Nothing wrong with liking
I'll send you the
She-Hulk.
link, Chris, if you want to come in. I'll send you the link.
Maybe he liked it ironically. You don't know.
No, he was fucking sick.
I know a bunch of people were saying they liked Generation V, and I couldn't get 10 minutes into it, dude.
It's a spin-off of The Boys, right, Gen V?
It's a spin-off of The Boys.
Oh,
and
I ain't touching it.
Boys is already shit, so...
Yeah, and they shat on PewDiePie in the fucking show, and they call him a Nazi.
Yeah.
A Nazi?
Yeah.
They call PewDiePie a fucking Nazi. So, like, they're going off of, like, a shit narrative from, like, 5 years ago.
No, try 2017.
Is that more than 5 years? Yeah, it's like 6 years ago.
6, nearly 7.
Well, get off my back, man. X-Ray Girl's not here to do my math.
Eric Kripke's a broken man. I don't know what his involvement is with that show.
TDS,
he's
like,
a broken man.
TDS has absolutely, whether you like Trump or not, I don't care, but it's undeniable that it is broken some creatives to where they'll never be able to work again. Like that's all they can think about. And I've seen it. I've seen it with a couple of my friends because they're comic book artists, right? And they have a lot of time on their own. And they have their TV on, and it's on fucking CNN all day long while they draw, right? They have the CNN on in the background. Now, I have stuff on the background, but it's usually YouTube or fucking Top Gear or old Top Gear or New Grand Tour or something in the background. But they get pumped this fucking MSNBC, CNN shit all day, and it drives and artists are sensitive people. They're very sensitive. And sometimes they just can't control their emotions or be adults or be men. And it just splurges out in their scripts, like The Boys, which was supposed to be a critique of corporate America, celebrity, superheroes, and it could have really taken shots at both sides, like equally, and been a pretty good show. I'd have been fine with that. But as Ryan has said in the past, and I completely agree, they take a blowtorch to one side and a water pistol to the other.
Mm.
And Gen V does the same fucking thing.
Yeah, the whole girls get thing done was a prime example of that.
Yeah, they could have really made. Somebody put up a clip. It was Uber Geek put up a clip of Chuck from season 4.
Oh yeah.
Dude, pull that clip up. It's so accurate.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Do you want me to find it? I can find
it.
I forgot. It's on your channel. I should look for it. The Uber Geek
replying to thoughts with big tits. Uber Geek.
Oh, come on. You can't ask him to do that.
Oh yeah, dude. Come on. Holy shit. You're right. Uber Geek. Act like you've been there before, buddy.
Oh, got it. Found it.
You got it? Yeah. Act like you've been there before. It's a little dad advice there. I'm not saying don't look.
What?
I'm just saying don't reply.
You just bookmark
look all
it
day
for later.
long.
Bookmark it for later.
Bookmark. That's what it's there for. You can even make your own little file for the bookmark.
All I'm gonna say is you ain't seen my bookmarks. No way. No way.
You can see mine. Mine are all memes.
Hold on. Before I share this, let's bring this young man into the fray.
Hey, gentlemen.
How do you defend yourself from the She-Hulk accusation?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly. And I've already spoken about this.
I would blame alcohol.
Well, no. First of all, she starts out as a bitch. She's a complete entitled bitch. And all we've seen before with female characters in Marvel is they're perfect and the bestest ever, and she wasn't.
But she was.
It went downhill pretty quickly, but what?
She was a
All I'm
bitch,
saying
but they were celebrating that as the bestest ever.
confused,
She's
yeah.
a liberated
Do you mean-
bitch.
Yes,
Do you mean
I
the scene
guess.
where she rips into Bruce? Because the show was on her side with that.
Ooh.
Correct. Also, they clearly define Bruce Banner Hulk is much stronger, more experienced, and better at this than she is. So I thought, all right, this is interesting. If a female character, they're approaching it differently than they've approached other female characters, like Captain Marvel, who might be one of the worst written and performed female characters. Definitely in the Marvel cinematic.
Can I?
So-
Sorry to interrupt you. My apologies to interrupt you, Chris. But
It's all good.
I have been doing this for years, and I'm going to stop. And I stopped in my well, not my next video, but the video after that. My next video is coming out today.
Yeah.
It's female Captain Marvel.
Female
keep calling-
Captain Marvel.
It's
right.
female Captain Marvel. It is not Captain Marvel. It is female Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
Chris, go on.
So, yeah, but like, so look, if you've been following my work since 1985, you probably know that I've been a guy that's been honest about how I feel about something. And, so I'll tell you how I feel.
Yes.
Those things will change. I think the TV show thing is weird, though, because they'll send you, I've seen the first 4 episodes of Loki. season.
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to hear from you.
It goes nowhere fast. I mean, they finally introduce in the 3rd episode Jonathan Majors playing a Kang variant that's Mr. Timely. He's kind of a shyster con man. So you think he's like, I've invented a new power source, and then he sells it to the highest bidder. Well, turns out it's all BS. He's just trying to get some quick cash. But they need his essence to unlock. I don't know. It's so effing unnecessary.
Yes, his essence, Mahler.
Essence.
Yeah.
Essence of Kang.
I love the new Mutants.
From Chanel. Essence of Kang from Chanel.
Is that a Bill Sienkiewicz cover for the New Mutants? So,
What? Yeah. This is Liefeld.
Yeah, that's
so,
Liefeld,
that's
yeah.
cool. That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Anyways, I actually gotta go into a meeting, but so I can't stay long. You guys have any? I mean, I did also see the first 4 episodes of Gen V. which I kind of like.
I don't like it, dude.
I like it. I watched the 4. I think the 5th episode comes out on Thursday. I like it. It's like an FU to Marvel. It's like giving Marvel the big middle finger. It's like graphic sexual.
Is it though? Because
Yeah,
it always feels like surface level sort of pandering self. Like The Boys season 2 and 3 do it, but they like randomly acknowledge the tropes of superheroes, and you can sort of feel like, oh yeah, this feels fun, and then they just do all of it anyway.
Girls get things done.
Calling PewDiePie a Nazi, done.
Nah, I mean, I just think I see the whole thing as satire. It's like, and I like that kind of stuff. Do you remember when Alan Moore did that series? It was called 1963. Do you remember that? That comic book series?
I remember it.
Good, Gary. See, I can always count on Gary.
Yeah.
I love
He owned
that.
a comic book shop.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard. But I really like that series because it was lampooning that early sort of optimistic era of Marvel, a very specific era of Marvel. So I like that.
It's fine to lampoon it, but like they will not lampoon what is like they'll lampoon current events, right?
Right.
And they'll lampoon one side of it when the other side is ripe for it. For example, we have a president who shits his pants and can't fucking talk. That should be lampooned, and it would be lampooned if it was on the other side, and it's not. That's always equally lampooned. Fine with that, no problem.
Well, I've got good news for you. Pete Davidson is hosting SNL this Saturday, and I'm sure that'll be the opening sketch. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah, one of the
it's
most
gonna be
talented comedians of all time, Pete Davidson.
There you go. But yeah, and then I've seen. I'm going to talk about it in detail later, but I've seen the Monarch series that's going to be on Apple.
What's that?
I'm interested in that.
It's
What's
the
that?
Godzilla one.
Godzilla one.
I've only seen the first episode,
Okay.
and I'll
Yes
tell
or
you-
no? Just say yes or no.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Based on what I've seen, I'm not super into it. But I got.
Oh no.
I've got 5. I'll have seen all 5 by Friday. I think.
Okay. Okay.
Trying to schedule my shit out, but you know what? Gen V, like I think part of it comes from the characters. I actually am invested in the characters that they do stupid shit. Or stupid shit happens doesn't bother me as much when I actually like the character. And I think that is the problem with Loki is that to me, Tom Hiddleston, I really like him as an actor. It's not Loki. It's not the Loki that we knew. Who the hell is he? It's an emasculated.
Oh my God.
Vegan. I call him Vegan Loki.
Yeah.
Vegan Loki. That's
In his
pretty
first
accurate.
episode, hey, they didn't punch him in the face or kick him in the balls, Chris. Let's give him credit for that. But he begs for help, but he's running from a couple of fat cops. He's like, help me.
Do you know what they
It's like,
did
you're
do?
fucking Loki.
They took a meeting room and they made every man shut the fuck up while 3 middle-aged women to beyond, debated the ethics of the multiverse. Where Loki was nowhere to be seen.
Loki.
It's not
Loki was
Loki.
nowhere to be
Loki.
seen.
It's Loki.
Loki, he's the best Loki.
But
He's
it's
the
not
greatest
Loki.
Loki.
It's not the Loki we knew that would pull
No.
out 2 knives and go and murder
Bro,
someone.
he watched the tapes, okay? In episode 1 of the first season. He's a changed man. He watched all the movies. And
He's got about as much edge as a fucking circle.
Yeah, it's dude, it is nothing like the Loki. You know what? No, it's the Disney Marvel Loki. We got the Paramount Marvel Loki that was built up, and they killed him. And now we have the Disney Marvel Loki, which is be a very good subservient beta.
Why don't you just make Loki the actual main character of your fucking show that's called Loki?
But did you guys forget the character that they quote unquote built up from season 1?
Who?
I know it's been a couple years. Loki. Remember when I just wanted to make sure you're all right? Or when he walks up to Kang's house and he apologizes and puts his hand over literally his dick and fucking backs off? Yeah. Remember when he needed a blanket because he was fucking cold?
So I don't know if you guys
Angela
noticed, but in the initial action scene, do you remember he jumps into that lady's car van thing? She crashes and then crashes into the window.
Yeah, and he kills her.
It struck us as super interesting because yes, the car falls out the back. You hear a scream and then a thud, and then he goes, "Oh, she's fine." And I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, he just killed her. That feels a lot more Loki than usual." And then they had a little animated
off
thing in
the
the
background.
background of it flying away.
Yeah.
And we were like, that was put in post. I guarantee you, when they did that initially, Loki basically was like, she's dead. Oh well, fuck her. And then they were like, oh no, we can't do that. That's mean. Because he would. And I was just sitting there thinking to myself, like, yeah, I guess that wouldn't suit Pussy Loki. That's true. He'd be like, oh dear, she might be hurt. Oh no.
So
But
one
then
last
lady-
thing, 'cause I gotta take off.
Sure,
Unfortunately,
sure. Thanks for coming in, Chris. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If you say Frank Gore 3 times, I appear like Beetlejuice.
Ah,
When you get to the 4th episode, I mean, you were talking earlier. You made a comment earlier, Gary, about like Kang's been defeated a bunch of times. He's not a threat. Like they haven't laid out a threat.
That was my comment.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Your comment.
you mean
That was everyone's comment.
everybody's
Everyone-
as comment after all of our review videos commenting on just that, but that's okay.
But he's not.
He was referencing the stream, Gary.
referencing the stream. Okay, so but you see when you get to episode,
If you need the
4,
credit, you can have it.
It's embarrassing that
I
this
do
is
need the credit. Thank you.
Sorry,
Well,
Chris, just
and-
try to get his
So
point out.
Chris,
Okay.
God,
But-
mute as. Sorry, Chris.
No, it's all good. But Gary, you mentioned what if like Thanos was defeated in like some Marvel short or something. They really built Thanos up, and it was, to me, it's not 100% perfect, but I gotta say, it's like, all right, that was great. 3 phases, 10 years. That's great. But Marvel's best days are behind it, clearly, from this. And just when you watch any other TV show from people who know how to produce television, I think Netflix, look at One Piece, look at a lot of the stuff on HBO Max or Max or whatever you want to call it. Those are real. I feel like Marvel, Lucasfilm, Disney, they don't know how to do television. They haven't figured out how to do it. And, good or bad, every episode of Gen V kind of ended on like a cliffhanger where I'm like, I want to see what happens next. I like some people. I don't like some of these people. I want to see where it goes. I was not invested at all in Loki. I sort of suffered through the first 4 episodes, and there's only 2 left. But I am told that there is a cataclysmic event that happens at the final episode where, according to what I heard, they stick the landing on the ending. Again, I haven't seen it. I'm only
Okay.
What I heard.
Did that person reference? Is it like in the beginning of the episode, or is it like in the
No,
last
just-
5 minutes?
No, didn't say that.
I'm guessing it's in the last 5 minutes.
And if you look at the timing of when it ends, it's around when the Marvels comes out.
So nobody's going to be
Great.
able to find any closure then.
Well, that'll
I
get
just
them
don't know.
running to the ticket office to buy them tickets. I mean, they'll have to get behind me because I'll be there first. Trust
But
me.
you have to realize nobody's going to be watching Loki to start with to be going to the cinema to be
I know.
excited for the Marvels.
That's gonna give them like a 0.5% bump.
The only
Yeah.
time they did that, it was really well achieved, was when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tied into Winter Soldier. I thought that was awesome.
Cool. That was really cool.
Actually really cool. It was cataclysmic. It was amazing. So that, but other than that, there hasn't been anything to me that's really held up, and it's just diminishing returns. So unfortunately, I got to run. I got a boring meeting. No, a fun meeting. But I'll see you tomorrow, Gary. We'll talk more.
See you tomorrow with Comic
care,
Book Girl
Az.
19.
There you go. Oh, she's going to be there. Danica's going to be there.
Danica's gonna be there tomorrow.
Don't look at her Instagram. It's all thirst traps, and
There's no
not-
danger of me going to Instagram, dude.
Yeah.
don't not.
No danger.
That's Melissa's domain. Yeah.
Mama's got that. Yeah.
There you go. Cool.
Later,
All right,
brother.
take care, everyone.
Bye bye.
Hail to the chat. Hail to the chat.
Hail to Frank Gore.
Hell yeah.
Frank. Oh.
So
Oh, Frank,
something. Hey,
Huh?
are you guys encouraged? Something happens in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the final episode.
Something happens in the last scene of the final episode. Get
I
it?
mean, I was gonna say that was the formula for Ahsoka. The thing that happened
Yes!
was that Thrawn got back, and it's like, yeah, we already knew that was gonna happen.
Because we know, because it's set up for the film where Thrawn's just fuck off.
Well, and
because they
if
said they're
gonna
going to bring him back.
if they're gonna go as far as being like the multiverse is truly unlocked now.
That's like coming out going, well, yeah, we're going to totally make Darth Vader Luke's father in Empire. That's like announcing. It's stupid. Sorry if I spoiled it for anybody.
Wow,
Spoiler alert. Okay, let's see some based.
Yep.
how it goes.
That's called reality.
That's called reality. And the way they have her go down is so funny. Because that's exactly how it happened.
That's actually a nice comical way of doing it, because the reality would be
Much worse.
yeah,
Much worse.
nose explode,
Chuck.
teeth out, tears, but she's fit as fuck, so I don't.
Oh, yeah. No, Chuck's good.
Just saying.
Did she play Supergirl? Did she play Supergirl in Smallville?
That was
Vandervoort did that.
Vandervoort, yeah, Laura Vandervoort.
Where'd
That
she
didn't
play
look like
Supergirl?
Laura Vandervoort.
Yeah, it didn't look like.
That looked like
I don't
Stacy
know.
Keebler. Yeah, that looked like Stacy Keebler or something.
Oh, I didn't know until I ran across it yesterday. Romilda Vane. You guys aren't going to know this, but the chat will know this. Romilda Vane from Harry Potter is Triss in Witcher.
Oh,
Whoa.
yes. Yes.
I was like, whoa, okay. She grew up. She still doesn't look like Triss at all.
I thought it was Yvonne Straczynski. It didn't look like her. Okay. She's fit. She's fit as fuck.
Fit as fuck.
Yeah.
F-A-F.
The Witcher, one of the worst casted shows of all time.
Of all time. Of all time. They get one casting right.
Yeah.
And
One.
Well, Stregobor is pretty good too. Stregobor. It's pretty good casting. Basically, all the white guys they casted right. Graham McTavish, that was good casting. Everybody else sucked. Facts. Just fucking facts. Deal.
Coming to a Disney store near you, Essence of Kang.
Get that essence.
Dude, the reason they announced Kang and like came out so hard in the paint for Kang is they're like, we made a black man the big villain in Marvel. Look at our progressiveness progress. We're great. I'm going to break my arm patting myself in the back with my bigotry of low expectations. That's all it fucking was. That's all it was. Remember, a lot of Hollywood is where trends go to die. This is where I disagree with Robert Meyer Burnett. They aren't made there. They die there. Trends come from us. They come from, like with music, it came from the streets.
If they only had some great
It comes from
other villains they could have called upon. Well.
trends come from like independent movements and stuff. They rise naturally, right? And Hollywood operates on 2 years ago. That's basically what they operate on. I mean, look at Gen V and that fucking clip about PewDiePie. That's operating from 6 years ago. So yes, this is it was a direct response to the Summer of Love. That's what Hollywood lost its Hollywood was so scared during the riots. They were so scared that people were going to come for their mansions. They were so fucking scared that they were going to be called racist. Same with corporations. It was used as an extortion tactic to introduce things like DEI, which is CRT, which is we're going to make things more diverse and Marxist and less white, and we're going to rot your corporation that benefits from capitalism from the inside out, which is currently what's happening in Disney. And now they
You know
can't.
what they weren't scared of, Gary?
What?
People.
No.
So
No.
I think showing fear for
Or they
other
weren't.
demographics displays their bigotry through and
Absolutely. That's what this all is bigotry of low expectations. Here's some hand-me-downs, black person. Don't you feel lifted up now because we've been calling you marginalized your entire life?
Hey, just sorry to go off
And
topic for a second.
pressing that fucking narrative. I mean, that's why Disney's falling apart right now. They're just absolutely falling apart, and it couldn't be at a better time, to be honest with you. Fuck them.
Robin Hood.
What about Robin Hood?
Exactly. It's like a show which felt like it was conceived and made in the summer of love with its messaging.
It probably was. It probably was. It probably directly. Well, it has to, because a cop turned around and shot a woman in the stomach while she was being arrested for breaking and entering. Trespassing. To church music that made Jay Longbone laugh.
And as she fell backwards into the mural of Sir George Jesus Floyd.
George Jesus Floyd.
And I died laughing at that.
Yeah, dude, it's a legitimately funny show. I'm laughing quite a bit at it. I'm probably gonna wait till it ends. If I do a video on at all, it'll be because I want to get everything.
Well, it is like the give Babylon B, make Babylon B make a woke TV show about Robin Hood, and you get exactly what this is.
If you just write a Robin Hood show with Babylon B headlines.
Yes.
If you ask ChatGPT to write a Robin Hood show with just Babylon B headlines, you get this fucking show, dude.
That's where we are. That is where we are. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Mola, you
okay, buddy?
You thought about watching a little bit of Robin Hood? Huh?
I decided to stay away from that one. It looks abominable. But to be honest with you, I'm busy. I still haven't finished editing all the Ahsoka stuff. And Loki's already started up. And then I got things to do other than those. And then the Marvels is out in what, a week and a half?
What?
No, a month.
No, sorry, month and a half.
Month and a half, yeah. Oh.
No, a month. A month. 1 month.
I thought it was the back end of November.
No, it's beginning. 10th. 10th.
Oh,
10th or 8th. 10th or 8th.
Marvel.
Because it was going to come out a week after Dune, which should have never delayed.
End of November, you're absolutely right.
So, believe me, this motherfucking thing is circled on my calendar with little arrows and hearts and little faces of Brie Larson.
This film's going to be long forgotten before Christmas.
Oh, dude, it'll be forgotten after the first weekend. And listen, I actually don't and never have. I hated what Brie Larson said back in 2018, but she hasn't really said anything bad since then. And the only thing that I put video in, and I think it was more about Marvel than fans, was, do they want me to play them again? I don't know. I think that has a lot to do with Marvel and her contract and has nothing to do with fans.
Nothing to do with fans. All about contract.
I ain't sipping for her. But I cannot stand what they did to the character of Carol Danvers. Okay. Carol Danvers is a character. I actually bought Ms. Marvel comic books off the fucking shelf when I was a kid and liked the comic book. And I liked Captain Marvel, the real Captain Marvel, the male one. And Miss Marvel was actually a good member of the Avengers. They did some fun stuff with her, and they completely fucked up her character when they gave her to Kelly Sue DeConnick and made her into this insufferable biatch. And then they adapted that.
Is Kelly Sue DeConnick.
Yes, and you're right. And they adapted that into the movies instead of adapting the complex, fun, and interesting former alcoholic character that was Miss Marvel. That was Carol Danvers. And yes, she had some great assets. Let's not lie. The reason Miss Marvel and She-Hulk comics sold in the mid-aughts, some of them were pretty good. Some of them were okay. And Mystique comics too, was they had great covers with, they put the biggest hits on all of those characters.
Well, Gary, that's because comics are a visual medium.
Yes. I'm not, I was all for it.
Look, I know I'm talking to the converter with you. But, I'm talking to the fucking comic book industry here. Comics are a visual medium. And just because a woman is drawn attractively with the exaggerated body, longer legs, curvier ass, bigger boobs, whatever, that's to try and attract people to buy the fucking book. Making her look like some fucking dog-faced rat like they do in the current fucking shit. And you've noticed that Marvel have even tried to at least change the aesthetic look of Captain Marvel now.
They radically alter her personality where they try to make her fun in this movie. That's what I'm told. I think it's I think that's going to be a little hard with we're going to say I think the best actress will be the young lady who plays Miss Marvel. I think the actress who plays
she's going to be really fucking annoying.
Monica Rambeau is terrible. And I think the villain looks cringe as fuck. Could not be more cringe.
Monica Ram, no personality.
None.
Yep.
None. And cucked out Nick Fury in his Strange Kind of Love.
Nick Fury can go fucking eat a dick.
Yeah, Nick Fury doesn't exist anymore.
No. Last time I saw Nick Fury was in Endgame.
Yeah, you know what he was doing was collecting everyone's blood off the battlefield, apparently.
Yeah, and putting it in one vial. Hey, let's take everybody's DNA and put it in one vial so it's really easy to steal. What a fucking retard. Maybe you want to separate that, hide it all across the world. You know?
I gotta put onto the videos that we can just quickly play. I gotta put here like this. Effect, my face is tired video on there because it is. My face is just tired from all this.
From what? From the destruction of Marvel? Like
all of it, just everything.
Yeah, so
conveyor belt of shite. And it's just spludging the same shite. Move on. Plop out onto the streaming service. Nobody fucking watches it. Diminish.
I may or may not have a video. Well, I do. I actually have a video coming out on this very subject in the next couple of days. Quarter Black's
apathy, man.
Quarter Black is slaving away on it.
Well, he's 25% slave. Why would you say that? Well, Gary, why would you say I'm in prison.
Because it's going to be kind of a bitch to edit the way I mean. But them's the breaks. That's the gig. Knew what he was getting into.
After the first episode of Loki, Mola, let's go with you first. After the first episode of Loki, can you in any capacity see...
Give a fuck?
Well, I think the fucks are not there. But can you in any capacity seeing the viewership rise?
No, not even close. There's nothing to draw people in. It's as confusing as season 1 was. And, I mean, you basically got to rely entirely on the performances. And as much as I think Tom Hiddleston is doing pretty good, he's not got much material to work with, and I don't know what's going on, man. It's funny in like the last 5 minutes where everything seemed like a catastrophe. The timelines are tearing apart. Loki won't be able to make it. And by the way, for people who are listening who don't even know what happened in the episode, like I'm not lying at all when I say that Loki needed to self-prune once he was in the right place according to like a time compass. But he almost got interrupted because the phone rang and then an elevator opened and Sylvie was there, but he still did it because someone hit him from behind. And then he ended up in the time loom and he tackled Mobius so that they both ended up being safe. I remember just being like, I got nothing. I can't make sense of any of this.
No, and that was like the longest 5 minutes and then 30 seconds ever. Yeah, that made no... Because when we were talking about Friday Night Tights, we were like, did Sylvie prune him? Did he prune himself? Did somebody prune him from behind? Did we care? No.
This is, yeah, I mean, I did my video with Paul Chato, and I've likened it, or we likened it to Do It Gently. I think there's going to be multiple Sylvies, and I think it's Sylvie that pruned him, and I think it's Sylvie that was trying to come through.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious Lysa Arryn is Sylvie.
Is it? I don't. Honestly, I got nothing.
Well, I heard the rumor. Funneling people into a singular timeline, aren't they?
Yeah, I heard the rumor that Lysa Arryn is going to be Sylvie. Give me another
Pruning.
business.
Pruning is when you are pokey
You
stick
get melted.
out
Could
of
be wrong.
existence.
And they borrowed like heavily from Doctor Who season 5, especially when Moffat started going particularly crazy. You remember when a lot of people complained about it? I actually thought they did it really well in season 5 with the dropping the mop off. You know, the Pandorica opens. Oh, I need this. And they just go back and they give you the shit you need. They write the note. You know, like that's what they're ripping off. Well, ripping off.
Well, they've made a colossal mistake.
What, they're not Stephen Moffat.
Well, A, they're not Stephen Moffat, but B, when you get pruned, you go to the end of nowhere time.
Yeah, when you get pruned, you get put into that the purpley monster fucking land. I forgot what it was.
So why didn't Loki appear there?
Because they had the sucking
New
device.
rules, baby. I'm not even kidding in terms of like in-universe new rules, I think.
Well, I think it had to do with that
The
machine.
loom.
The
yeah,
loom.
when you get pruned, you end up. He was caught. He was screaming and grabbed, and
I liked Mobius's costume, and I liked.
God, I was wondering what the fuck you were going to say then.
No, I liked Mobius's costume in that scene. I did. I liked the vacuum tubing and the coupler on the back. I thought that was kind of cool.
Very
Yeah.
Hitchhikers. Very Douglas Adams-y. Yeah.
so that's something that, in terms of compliments, that struck me. I don't know if you guys felt the same. Was coming off of Ahsoka into Loki. First of all, I was like, wow, my eyes actually have something to enjoy, like the world itself and the way it's shot. There's a couple wonders. There's dynamic camera movements.
Yeah,
like,
and it's a little brighter. Like if you go back and watch Loki season 1, it's really dark. It's
and there's
shot
contrast.
so fucking dark. Yeah,
It's just after watching so much Ahsoka, it was shot so blandly and just meh.
yes.
Flat.
Same with Secret Invasion, bland as fuck. Yep.
So yeah, you know, watching Loki do its thing, I was like, oh, that's nice. At least this thing. Just like, I don't even know.
Nice.
I'm not even sure who the credit goes to. If it's the director or the cinematographer.
I think we need to
the
credit
other.
Ahsoka for being so bad that we're like, oh, this isn't as bad as Ahsoka.
This was a nothing burger. This episode. It was just a.
Well, yeah, Loki didn't
No,
know anything
sure.
going on in it either, but Ahsoka was a whole season of nothing going on. It's insane. To the point where it's not successful enough they can guarantee a season 2, when the whole fucking hook of season 1 is everything happens in season 2, guys. You're gonna love it.
No.
It hasn't happened yet because reasons.
It might happen in season 2 or a season of another show. We don't know. Or a movie.
Then Gary, remember when it's like, oh, what happened with Darth Maul and Kira? It's like, maybe we'll see that in another thing because it ain't gonna be in the Solo sequel. It's like, oh.
And who knows? Maybe they bring Orville Redenbacher back at this point because they can't. They're going to have to recast. They're going to recast Han, Luke, and Leia. They're just going to fucking do it.
I don't want them anywhere near whatever the Empire movie they're going to be planning. It probably won't get
scratching
made.
at Leia, being like Leia's bailing out Hera, which made no sense at all.
No. Not bringing up Luke.
Leia sent a protocol droid to talk on her behalf
When she
'cause
could
she
just
was
hologram that
busy.
shit
She was busy being the senator of a fucking destroyed planet.
of asteroid field.
Yeah, an asteroid field. When it should have been, if they were going to do that scene the way that they did it, should have been R2D2 and it should have been a fucking hologram. But that's just by the by. I don't want them anywhere near this fucking shit.
No.
Yeah, dude, I had plans to do a review of Loki, and I just called Garrett. I'm like, we can't do it. There's nothing to review. I would just say, hey, we introduced a new girl boss. Some women argued, and not really sure what the fuck happened after that. There was just some running around.
Let me ask you, both of you, a question. Why does Hera in Ahsoka
Have such a nice
Ahsoka,
ass.
in the oh, she's got a great ass. Okay, Mary. Yes.
But Unkadunk.
But Hera, no. Why in Ahsoka, the live action television streaming show,
Why do you never change your clothes?
why does Hera wear a pilot costume
What?
from World War II?
So they wear that. I'm going to answer it. Obviously, they costume her like that in animation because it's easier to keep them in the same uniform all the time.
Right.
But in live action, you can have these things called costume changes. They gave her one once. They gave her like different pants.
Whoa.
I noticed because I was looking at her
she's
ass.
a cartoon character.
Yes.
She's a cartoon character.
And the cartoon character had more personality, quite frankly.
Yes. This hero walked around, admittedly, with a great fucking ass and great ass shots. And that's all I'll ever take from. But I've always had a bit of a thing for Mary Elizabeth. Anyway, literally just going around saying, I'm a general. That's it.
She was in Sky High. She was good. Sky High's a great movie. Love it.
Okay. Happy
She's in Final
Sky
Destination 3.
high inside of her.
What was that, Muller?
What?
She was in Final Destination 3.
Oh, she was?
Mm-hmm.
How does she die?
Right at the end, I think she gets hit by a train.
I only made
As
it.
you do.
I only made it to the first movie.
Same. It's the only Final Destination
Same
I've
with
ever
Saw.
watched.
It's like I saw
Same.
one.
Same. Yeah.
Don't care. I don't
Uh,
give a fuck about that the
I think I've
franchise.
seen
I know
a bit
you
of
like it,
Saw
Mahler,
5.
and I know a lot of people like it, and that's great. It's just not my thing. I'm not into torture porn.
No, it's not. I did the whole Eli Roth as well business. Just
Yeah,
it kind of is like
not for me.
Yeah, this is.
I watch both Saw and Final
Weird.
Destination because they're funny, not because of the violence. They're just really funny films.
Yeah, the Final Destination is funny. I give you that.
It's like, oh no, I slipped. Oh no, I'm out of oh no, lava. Oh no.
Oh god, I got acid in my eyes. Oh well. Yeah, she's a cartoon character. That's why. And it's just like you do know you're not in a cartoon now. You're in live action and you can do things like, oh, cut somebody's hair that they grew, which it wasn't, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm a general.
Remember when Sabine became a Jedi in 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Can we just play the Ahsoka 18 trailer?
Yeah.
Bit. Have you seen this, Mauler?
Dude, what's weird is
The 80s Ahsoka trailer, the thing that I linked you both. Yes. I've
Oh,
seen
it was you that linked. Sorry, yeah. You know that thing you linked us, Mauler? Have you seen it?
the one he linked us like a few days ago. He's all checked us out. It's funny.
Have you seen it though, Mark? Okay.
Fucking an hour ago, I was talking about parts from it.
Look, dude, I can't remember.
Hey,
what the fuck I
Mahler.
was doing 2 minutes ago.
Oh, since you didn't respond to me on Twitter, happy birthday.
Oh, I didn't. I must have missed it. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much.
No, I'm glad you had a good birthday. I'm sorry. I asked you on FNT and I forgot. I'm like, oh, it's your fucking birthday. Shit. Sorry. So happy birthday.
I would have loved to have been there, but I had family stuff. You know.
Totally understandable. Especially when your family basically can destroy the universe.
Oh, did you see my text, Mauler?
I have not yet. Sorry.
Okay. Well, the text is finally they have shipped your present.
Wonderful.
Right. This, folks, is just watch.
Ahsoka Tano, mystical Jedi warrior, trained to be a child soldier by the Master of Evil. She must learn to walk her own path while maintaining order in the galaxy.
Okay.
Ahsoka.
That ship scene fits so well in an 80s intro, dude.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
This, which is just like,
It looks so like, oh no, oh we gotta get out of here, sort of thing.
you can hear the sound effects of pew.
That
pew,
looks
pew,
like
pew,
like
pew.
Battlestar Galactica from like 1980.
Yes. And then just transitioning to the smiling by the ship.
Yeah,
This is
it's
the bit
great.
where we put it in the credits.
This is kind of a masterpiece. I love
It's
it.
been
is
a long time
genius.
since you've seen any intros like this.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Ahsoka, a Jedi who fights against the forces of darkness using her twin.
That spin is one of the funniest things. It's just so.
It's almost as good as Sabine's flips for no fucking reason. Why does she keep rolling on the ground? There's nobody there.
She spins with the grace of a swan that's been fucking skewered.
Forces of darkness using her twin lightsabers and incredible never-before-seen abilities. Water breathing, whale song, and quick change.
Yes.
Whale song.
How did she do it? How did she do it?
She put that suit on so fucking fast, man.
Joined by a ragtag band of friends, they journey into the unknown.
It's just a steal. He's just grabbed all the smug little smiles between.
Oh, that's really easy to do. You can do a
95%
super
of their
cut.
footage, yeah.
It's just brilliant. It's just smug, stoic.
Fucking
Smug.
smirk.
They journey into the unknown. Sabine, Mandalorian warrior, explosives expert, hopeless Jedi, street artist.
Street artist.
Hopeless Jedi. It's just
And street artist. And that's what she is. They made her a fucking graffiti artist, dude.
He's
So,
just spitting facts. That's the scary thing.
so fucking like early 2010s, man.
Oh, man.
Hera, a pilot with the heart of a pilot, who is always dressed to pilot. And Hu Yang, Ahsoka's faithful servant, a 25,000-year-old robot that possesses more knowledge and experience than any other living being in the entire galaxy. Possibly the most valuable relic in all of existence. He is now responsible for ship maintenance.
That's as good as I heard it the first time.
Ryan on the front and I said, Hugh Yang should be with Luke rebuilding the Jedi Order, and he's fucking piloting this fucking shuttle.
Dude,
for
he should be with
Ahsoka.
Luke. He should be like advising the New Republic.
Yes.
It's like, I know about this thing that might have happened before 25,000 years ago. You might want to know about how history repeats itself a little bit.
You could be scissoring with C-3PO.
I like this music.
Music's amazing. Can we see Sabine tanking a fucking laser to the head?
Well,
Good books. Good books. Good books. Okay, let's rewind.
Hit
it.
a gun. Okay, so why didn't the gun blow up?
It looks like she's got a dick right there.
Oh. She's got
Oh
a
my
big
God.
she's got a big dick. Fucking hell. Sabine.
Or she's taking a laser piss. I don't know.
I mean, I still would, but I mean, it's just I've been known to make
Oh.
mistakes. So I hit that super chat by accident. Let's carry on before anything else rises apart from the Empire.
With the threat of a new Star War looming over them, they wrestle
A new Star
War. Oh. It's the pear-shaped man.
I know, he's the Dunkin' Donuts manager.
against the intangible genius of Grand Admiral Thrawn and his supernatural minions. It's a race to save one of the last Jedis, as one of the last Jedis is hunted by the last remnants of the Jedis. They must learn the
Luke's out there.
Luke's out there.
Another Last Jedi with Grogu, who's another Last Jedi. It's just like, fucking hell.
You guys remember when Yoda said to Luke, "The last Jedi will you be"?
Yes.
Jedi, will you
Well,
be?
that was a fucking lie.
Yeah. What a fucking liar. The fucking galaxy is
yellow
stupid
coat.
with fucking Jedi right now. Like the Emperor completely fucked up. Order 66 complete failure.
Yeah. Many Jedi survive. Probably Cal Kestis is kicking around somewhere as well.
Put aside their differences, reconcile with their pasts, and risk it all to find a long-lost ally who may or may not be able to help them.
Bye.
But hope always remains in Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Brilliant. The perfect timing on the music with that as well.
So good. So good.
Check out my reaction video to it, chat, and also in the reaction video in the description is the link to that video. Go give it a view. Go give it a like. Go show some support for that, because that was fucking hilarious. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. If that was the show we got, it could have been fun. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Could have been fun. Let's go through some supers and whatnot from the old chitty of the chatty. We got Hempty with a membership 36. Says, salut, as Gary Mauler. Broke up with my girlfriend today, and the first thing I thought of was Az's rants. Kind of gay, but hey, thanks for being there for us, dude. Sorry that you broke up with your missus, man. Maybe who knows in the future, or fuck her if she was a complete twat.
Yeah, for whatever the reason. Yeah, you're getting another one.
Yeah,
I had to get that first marriage out of the way. Yeah.
Alcatraz with a $5 says, and he wanted me to link a tweet. Yeah, I'm gonna share the screen. This, hey, could you share this when you read my super chat today? And this is the Armor Wars, or just Iron Man and just Iron Man. They're cool. They're awesome.
They are cool.
Nice. Nice. Mighty Thor. Iron Man, Mighty Thor. Hola, Gary, as Morley. Todos ustedes son algunos de los merchos on YouTube. Gracias por todo el entretenimiento.
De nada.
Which I think you'll find is perfect.
Sombrero.
Taco language. And then Alcatraz with another $5 says also recently got Iron Man 291 to 300, including the Iron Annual and Thor 109 and 362. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring. Iron Maiden with a £10 says, hail to the English Silverback, the American Wizard, and the Welsh Cthulhu God. What do the Twin Towers and genders have in common? Uh-oh. There used to be two. Now they're a sensitive topic. That is actually based as fuck joke.
I saw a video the other day on Reddit of a guy who climbed into the 9/11 memorial, which he is like a 30-foot drop and then a 20-foot drop. I heard he had to go to hospital after it.
Oh, well, I guess so.
But yeah,
he's lucky he's alive.
The video is him crawling to the second drop with like a blood trail behind him, and then he just falls into the next part. I was like, how is he alive?
Why was he doing that?
I think the theory was he was trying to kill himself. I don't know.
Oh, rather badly.
In the 9/11 memorial. Oh, that's dramatic. At least it's not off a bridge.
Dude, there are plenty of... No, I ain't gonna go.
Yeah. Don't do that. Permanent solution to a temporary problem. Permanent solution to a temporary problem. I know that's on the nose, but it's true.
The Schmeeks has been a member for 17 months. Thank you. Hello, lads. Happy spooky month. Gary, I may have missed this, but deets on the WI meetup. I'm planning on going. Also, Wisconsin, maybe? Also,
Yes,
thank
Wisconsin.
you for reviewing the sludge pipe of shite so I don't have to. Cheers.
Oh, you're welcome. Wisconsin meetups, we're going to get, I think it's later today because I need to do it, I guess. Our members will get, because it's free, right? But our members get early access and then we do it like the next day. So you'll know in the next day. I'll give you the date, but it's at a bar in Milwaukee, right?
Wisconsin.
And it's in late November. But you will know in the next 24 to 48 hours when and where. Me and X-Ray Girl will be there. I saw the poster for this one, which I didn't know was being made. My wife's on top of it, which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's kind of awesome. Vector visual is amazing.
Joe Dirt, your ass, my face. With a 20 Australian. Says, hail chat and hail as for putting me on 2 of the Ahsoka we should have got. Yeah. The trailer that we just showed. Thank you, Joe Dirt.
I like this
DB
cover. I like
with a
this
£2
cover.
says, Gary, did you
Yeah.
take anything from Az's storage unit?
No.
Yes, you did.
Are you telling
Do you know what
Porky
you-
Pies?
Do you know what you took, Gary?
What did I take?
A lot of good fucking memories.
Yeah, that too. Maybe a Batman.
Maybe a Batman.
Yeah, the Batman 1 to 6. Objectively, a cat has been a member for 4 months. Thank you. Travis's Will's been a member for 5. What do you guys think the odds are that Peltz gets a seat or more on the Disney board and actually changes things? I'm going to go with slim to none.
I'm going to go with possible. Now,
Maybe
wasn't
a seat, but
possible.
changing things. No.
He's done it in the past, and he has a lot more shares than he did the last time he tried this. That freaked out Bob. So he has the power to do it, and it can turn. This could easily turn into a proxy war. So, I mean, will it ultimately change Disney as a company?
Dismally.
I think they'll try. I don't know if they can, because, I mean, fact of the matter is, it's too late. That parks they can probably fix. They could probably fucking fix the parks. Put in some money. Rosa Parks. But you can't fix the cancer of activists that infiltrated your entire fucking company, and you are now their prisoner unless you fucking fire everybody. And as far as the entertainment thing goes, well, you still got to buy Hulu. Disney Plus has been a complete disaster, and now your money makers that you paid a lot of money for, Pixar, Star Wars, and Marvel, are all dead.
You know what else is dead?
What?
Indiana
Let me
Jones.
just share this quick. Well, there's lots of things, to be honest with you.
Willow,
We could be all here all fucking day. CD Projekt Red. Have you seen this tweet?
Oh, God.
Our menstrual leave initiative, which we implemented this April, was recently awarded by the 30% Club Poland. We're honored to be recognized alongside other industry leaders working to increase diversity and inclusion. CD Projekt Red was chosen for the DIE Award. It's diversity, inclusion, and equity. It's DIE. It's the DIE Award, because that's what's going to happen to your fucking company. For our work in promoting acceptance of biological differences and for creating a flexible work environment. Thank you, 30% Club Poland, for recognizing our efforts. We hope to continue developing our diversity, inclusion, and equity strategies and inspiring others to do the same. I'll go fuck off.
You know, when you pulled up the tweet and I saw the second word was menstrual, I was like, this must be something else. This can't be what I thought it was.
No. Women can just take days off work. Men can't. But what is a man and a woman nowadays, folks? Well, they say actually recognizing differences
Well, no. Are they going to let the menstruators off?
Well, what if I identify as having a period?
That's what I said. Are they going to let the menstruators off for their fake periods? God, that must. I know that pisses so many. That's like the Latinx of women. Is dudes saying you can menstruate? They're like, oh, okay, all right, you fucking try it.
Well, this bullshit. This is the bullshit which ties them in knots, because they're talking about diversity and inclusion and equity and women taking menstrual leave. But then you've got to define what is a woman to a company like this. I mean, we know because we're not fucking mentally retarded. But, to companies like this. And then they put biological differences. Oh, so biology does play a part in whether or not you're a man or a woman.
But are they a biologist?
Okay.
Don't know.
Is that why you just call it menstrual leave and you don't actually say woman anywhere here? Because people that don't say women, by the way, you're called a misogynist. Fucking, I am so fucking done with this.
Companies who adopt this shit will start producing shit and then not be around anymore. And what's going to happen? It's already starting to happen. Is Vanguard and BlackRock, which I'm sure is absolutely fucking behind this.
Of course.
But they've been doing it from the shadows. But now that a lot of people have brought it to the light of day, maybe more people won't. I'm not a financial analyst. Won't be a part of BlackRock, not have their 401ks. Not really sure how that works because I don't care because I don't have a fucking 401k. I don't play the stock market. I don't gamble.
You comply or they tank your stock, Gary, and destroy your company.
I believe in private property is the best investment and tangible shit. That's what I believe in. But yeah, like it's got a bad enough reputation now. There's a coffee shop chain around here that I had to check because they're called BlackRock Coffee. And I'm like, that's a bad name. I would fucking change that name. I would change that name like immediately. Because you tell that a lot of people on the right, the minute you mention that, they're like, fuck that. And they should.
Well, I tweeted out earlier today, when your morality is defined by the percentage of your bank loan repayment, and also your ability to have your company scored so that you comply. Yeah.
So we can force your behavior?
Yes.
And the arrogance to come out and say this.
Force your morality.
Because they're right and you're wrong because they have more money than you. And also the guy who runs BlackRock in an interview I'm paraphrasing was, he talked about running for president. He said, well, why would I do that? I have more power than the president now.
Sure.
That's essentially what he said.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's right. And he's fucking right.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. That's the sad fucking thing.
But this is after years of there's no shadowy cabal of financiers that actually run the country or the world. Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, it's called the WEF.
Yeah.
By the way, Ministry of Wrong Think with the $10 says, you notice Robin's mum specifically says the condom jar, not your condom jar, implying it's the entire family's communal jar. Her mom's going to Sam's Club and loading up without a drop of shame. Well, I mean, dude, I don't even think about how old the youngest sister is. I don't even go there. So let's just push her out of the equation for dear God's sake. She does say the condom jar. Do you want me to refill the condom jar? And it does imply that the condom jar is a communal jar for usage. And if it needs refilling that fucking frequently.
The communal condom jar.
I really don't blame the father for not being there.
Yeah, the father probably went, fuck this. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Yeah.
I tried. I'm going to get blamed for everything.
Helen Morgan has become a member. Thank you, Helen. Marksman of 117B with the $2 says, hail, my favorite vanilla gorillas. Silverback, please. Silverback, please. Dearest has been a member for a month that says, hello. On a road trip across the US, thanks for keeping me company. No problem. What's your first thoughts? Been a member for 5. Says, hey, Gary.
Yeah.
I think the director X gave you a shout out in episode 2. It shows all of his cast eating jalapeno and pineapple pizza. Yes, it does. With ham. It's ham, pineapple, and jalapeno.
I'm not the only person who likes it, but maybe. Hey, he said he subscribes to some of these channels in that Instagram, and he has to because he instantly knew when Az was talking about it. He instantly knew when Josiah was talking about it. He instantly knew what Ryan was talking about it. He instantly knew when I've only posted a meme video about it on Twitter, which I plan to update in the next 24 hours. Keep an eye. I've found some more outtakes, some more deleted footage to that. So keep an eye out for it.
Careful, you look very sad at the last one, Gary.
Listen, he watches but he didn't learn.
Of course he's watching for clout.
He's getting it. He's fucking getting it.
Ever since that first... No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No. This is just the thing. He's thinking he is. He's like
thinking
atting me, atting geeks and gamers, atting you, whoever he's atting is, atting all the people in. He's thinking he's building himself up some traction. Nobody's watching the show.
No, it's down
from episode 1 to episode 2. He lost nearly 50% of his audience.
But
my videos on Robin Hood are skyrocketing right now.
Oh, that's a great name for a superhero there, Az.
It is. Skyrocketing.
Okay. But yes, those videos are just skyrocketing at the moment for me. My Director X video is on 184,000 views right now, which is 50,000 more than fucking episode 2 got of his fucking show. And the rate's been going up today. I'm thinking, holy shit, this might end up fucking taking over episode 1. Drinker put a Robin Hood video out yesterday. It had 580,000 views when I watched it after 10 hours.
Yep.
Which is twice as many views plus as the first episode got, and 4 times as many views as the second episode got.
Are you shocked?
No.
Is this a surprise?
Because they're way more entertaining to watch a Drinker video or somebody else's video on it, Disprew's video on it, mine, than it is to watch the fucking show itself, because people aren't watching. They're not going to go watch Robin Hood because we're talking about it.
Now apply that.
They're going to watch whoever's talking about it. They're going to watch their absolute roast of it.
Now apply that to so many other shows we covered that will not release. They'll announce numbers, but they won't release legitimate numbers.
Streaming won't release legitimate numbers.
Not. Like Star Trek Discovery.
Nobody.
Doctor Who was another great, nobody was fucking watching that show. Not here in America.
No. The last time I checked
maybe he was hoping
Doctor Who numbers 300,000.
Maybe he was hoping for like a Barbara Streisand effect that blew up in his face.
Yes, he got a Streisand effect. Unfortunately, it was us that benefited from it, not him, not his show. Because people don't want to watch the shit. They want to watch the person laughing and ridiculing the shit. Whether it be Disprue, Drinker, myself, whoever.
And like it or not, that is, that's what we do. We try to make kind of rough times right now, okay? Kind of rough times. But these are the times where escapism is needed, all right? Not forever, not to lose yourself in it, but it's needed for a little relief. It's not even going to solve your problems, but you can take a break once in a while. So that's what we cover. That's what we're trying to preserve. But we also try to provide a little of our own by mocking it. For one, mocking something is the best way to get people to change. Because when you are in the game of entertainment and ego, being ridiculed is a language you're going to understand, because that's their currency is ego. So we mock it.
Highlighted really well with that girl in my video. All I did was play a clip and she lost her shit. Because she'd never been, I don't think she'd ever been exposed. Yeah, it's always been you get rewarded and celebrated for, making those noises and faces. It was like the first time that someone was like, "That's actually dumb as fuck," and she's like, "Whoa, can we ban this?"
Mola, I am getting very triggered by your use of gendered language because they identify as a non-binary.
So the importance of escapism is still there. That's still what we fight to preserve. We also try to provide a little bit. And if we get a chuckle out of you guys at our expense or at Hollywood's expense, job done.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to do.
Hell yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the conflict. I will right after Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh and Tim Pool do a 35-minute breakdown of One Piece.
Why in the world would you want to see that?
I wouldn't
want. Funny, because it would be fucking funny. But I have one coming out today.
You know what's funny as well is like House of the Dragon being so horrifically misjudged by so many political pundits. It's like such an ironic thing to happen because it's so political, that show.
But right, okay. People don't care about politics within their stuff. They care about current day politics being rammed in. So political intrigue is fun.
Political, yeah. There's political intrigue, and then there's we're gonna rubber stamp our one-sided politics with zero nuance into a script. And Mahler, I know you know that, and but that's the biggest difference. You can make a documentary. You can, dude. Gen V, I don't like it, but it's original characters, so I'm really not like it's. You know, whatever. I'm not going to like it for what it is, but if people like it, at least they're making original characters in this fucking show. And at least they're not like making the third or fourth version of Miss Marvel or second version of Captain, or well, it depends. Yeah. Your eighth version of a character, or giving Falcon, the second black character in Marvel, which is a seminal thing, right? And then giving him some white dudes hand-me-downs. That's the kind of shit we have a problem with. If you want to make your woke crap, make it. Hey, Barbie did pretty well. It's woke. You know how I know that? The director said so. The director said it's a feminist fucking movie. I use woke, but it's actually feminist. And that's fine. But there's tons of political. You know what? I know the messages in A Song of Ice and Fire, Mahler. I am completely aware of where George. But what George doesn't do, Mahler? He does not sacrifice the male character, the character of the male characters. He'll fucking kill them. But they're still characters, complex characters that you root for. He just wanted to make a fantasy to where you follow, a midget around with a horribly disfigured face that you love. That's probably a villain, by the way.
There are movies and TV shows that have what I consider to be strong characters, like good writing and messages that I don't quite agree with.
Yep.
Or I'm like, I get what they're saying, but I feel like, they're lacking on this part or this or this or that. But it gets really bad when it's a message you don't agree with and it's executed horribly. It's just a complete fucking dumpster fire at that point.
Like, George will make his message like it's a fucking patriarchal world in this setting in the, with a Middle Ages setting. But he'll also, when women try to do something about it, they'll get fucked up because that's the world. That's
man. We would talk about it obviously, but you wonder about House of the Dragon, like how aware were the writers of that shit, like blaming the men for all of the like crazy shit, then like all the women committing genocides. It's like, what
when it ends, the female empowerment message might be a little when it ends. We'll just say that.
Well, you better hope they don't fuck around.
I don't think they will.
There was one fucky episode of House of the Dragon. It was
episode 9.
We found out pretty quickly the writer behind the episode had some insane fucking points of view about the big bad scene, where the scene that I think when we started talking, everyone was like, didn't feel quite right, that one. And then we found out that, like, what was the line that Rhaenys couldn't burn a fellow mother.
Couldn't burn a fellow mother.
On the corpses of several mothers.
I know.
Absolutely, like brain dead.
I'm pretty sure that writer had, I think it was The Witcher. I think she wrote something else that was like, but it rallied at the end. But the first episode, dude, The first episode of season 2.
Well, I mean,
we know the
I
title.
can't wait to see. I can't wait to see them all again. I'm a big fan of all those characters and the actors. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you what happened. I'm just going to make a facial expression and just go.
Ooh.
Okay, Project Taco, been a member for 6 months. Thank you. Chichos Memories with a $5 says, "Hey, so who is the Jeff Johns of Marvel?" Nobody. And what do you think of the new 23 JLA Jeff John
Kurt
runs?
Busiek.
Kurt Busiek.
Yep. That's the Jeff Johns of Marvel.
I haven't read Jeff John's JLA run. Oh.
No.
New 23? Don't you mean new 52? New 23?
I wish it was only 23.
Yeah.
Fucking new 52 blue.
Marvelous DC Girl has been a member for 4 months. Thank you. And Joe Dirt, your ass in my face. Again, with 10 gifted memberships. So thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you. Yes, 50. GJJ has been a member for 20 months. Jimmy D's Rec Room with a 5 Australian says, "Ayers, can you send me your acid board so I can cut them up into tiny squares and start my drug empire?" No. Be a good boy. Irish Not Saying has been a member for 17 says, "I can actually watch without interruption, and the show is actually on comics, and standard size is becoming the standard on all sites for bags and boards, Gary."
The Jeff Johns who wrote comic books is not the same as the Jeff Johns who wrote and worked in Hollywood.
No.
Like he's not cut out for Hollywood. He wasn't good in Hollywood. He was terrible in Hollywood. He wrote great comic books. You cannot shit on his comic book writing. Like that's objectively false. Brian Michael Bendis was good at one time. Was very good.
He's coming.
And so was Mark Waid. Then they weren't. Happened right around 2015, 16.
Oh, Mark Waid is a fucking nut job. Christian Nisses with a $2 institution. And Mike Nagy with a $2 says, "Mauler keeps coughing. Ask him if he has the Rona." Mauler, do you have the Rona?
A little bit ill. I fucking hope not, but I haven't tested or anything. I don't think I can be asked. I don't feel that bad. I've just got. That's why I keep muting as well, because I don't know.
It's all gravy, baby.
I assume you catch the beginnings or ends of them sometimes.
Who is the Chris Claremont of DC?
What now? Currently, or just
no,
who
back
was?
then. Back then, who was?
Chuck Dixon.
Yeah. Some will say Denny O'Neil. I wouldn't agree, but
I'd say Chuck Dixon, because Chuck Dixon was just he was so. I mean, the balance that Chuck had between character development and action, the amount of books that he was doing at one time.
he was a machine.
Absolute machine, and the quality of it was insane. So,
It's kind of unbelievable what he pulled off, and still pulls
yeah,
off.
I would say.
I'd say he likes what he does.
Mm.
He likes what he does a lot.
But yeah, he was. I mean, he was doing Detective Comics, Robin, Catwoman, Azrael, Nightwing, pretty much at the same time. So there you go. James Bursey with a $10 says, "G'day, Mola. Went to the saloon here in Texas and met a barmaid with a curious accent. When she said, 'Right you are, my love,' I asked if she had seen Hot Fuzz. She covered my tab as a result."
Ah.
Yeah, so call somebody love here, and some Gen Zer will feel like they were sexually assaulted.
Yes. But that's what we say here all the time. Sweetheart, love. You're right, love. You're right, sweetheart. James.
Yeah, well, fucking familiar, isn't it?
Oh, and then he did the same super chat again.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Cheers, dude. If you want, email me. I'll give you a refund on the second one. Gary's Beard Crabs with
Wait a
the
minute.
$10. What?
My beard crabs have kids now? Does that
Yeah.
make me a grandpa?
Oh.
Something like that?
Yeah.
With a $10 says, "Showed my daughter and girlfriend The Thing. help settle an argument. Was Childs an alien at the end? I say he was because it was gasoline that McReady gave him to drink. Thoughts?
Is there anything to prove that, or is that just a theory on the
I think it's a
gasoline?
theory.
I think it's a film theory. I love that that's left open to interpretation.
Yes.
That's the whole point, and we can debate it, kind of like how they fucked up Blade Runner.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing definitive in terms of information, but a lot points toward Childs being
A
the
lot.
thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get a set. I love that ending. It's such a sense
So
of
good.
like, let's just sit here and
Let's just say, yeah.
enough
Right.
of this fucking crazy shit. Let's just sit here.
And die.
And die.
Let's just sit here and die together.
You know what? I can't wait till they do a sequel where a young black lesbian will go up there and kill the thing again. But
Didn't
actually,
Oh,
kill it.
she'll go up there and
wanting to do another one.
And it'll be a trans allegory.
she'll thaw out Childs and he'll be alive somehow.
Well, he'd be
And,
alive, but broken and sad and alcoholic, like all our old heroes.
No. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Is it true? Exorcist, in the new Exorcist, the mom hasn't talked to the daughter in 50 years, and wrote a tell-all book, and
They didn't let her see the exorcism because of
Patriarchy.
Patriarchy. They died.
They both died.
They died, and you're fucking bitching about the patriarchy. You fucking disgusting.
I put out a tweet about it. I don't know if you guys saw, but I seriously think it's true. If that were dialogue in Scary Movie 6, that would be funny.
Yes.
It's like why didn't they let you see?
I
it?
know that was a good tweet.
Probably the
That was-
patriarchy. It's just like that sounds like a really funny line. Like Sydney Bristow. That's her name, right? Cindy Bristow. Is it Cindy? Fuck, I can't remember the name.
Sydney Bristow. No, it's
Sydney Bristow is Alias, right?
Alias.
Yeah, Cindy something. It's like a parody name, but whatever. I could see Anna Faris delivering that really funny.
Yes.
Like, because of the patriarchy.
God, those movies are so fucking. I like
Complete airhead.
Scary Movie.
We need to add them to our comedy arc. We're going to.
We do. We absolutely do.
Dude, the one that I'll never forget is when she's running up the stairs and she throws like normal things at a ghost face, and he's like, Then she throws like, like a series of cupboard things or whatever, and then like there's a bicycle that's just on the stairs, which is funny as fuck. Like, why is there? The stairs are enormous, like. And then she keeps going up, and this grandma's like, "Oh, hello, dear." She's like, "Sorry, grandma."
Yeah.
Isn't that Zucker? Isn't that the guys who made Airplane who made Scary Movies?
I can't remember.
Yeah, one of it was either both Zucker brothers or one of the Zucker brothers was involved. But it was the Scary Movie was the Wyams. It's the Wyams that did Scary Movies. But I don't know if one of the Zucker brothers may have been involved, or even Abraham.
It's John Abrahams. Yeah, John. No, that's Stars. Hang on, who's the writers?
Oh.
Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Wyams.
I thought it was.
I
I
think it's
thought
the
they.
Wyams.
Yeah, I thought they fucking had something to do with it, but
The Wyam brothers are the Scary
guess
Movie.
not. Guess not. Scary Movie fucking rules. Hail to the Wayans.
I like the second one as well. I think the first two are funny as fuck.
I am sorry.
My favorites are 1 and 3. Leslie Nielsen is peak, and Scary Movie 3 is funny as fuck.
Well, that's just Leslie Nielsen.
Remember the differently abled are visiting him in the White House, and he's like, "They're attacking. You'll never take me alive."
You mean the handicapped?
Differently abled.
Handicapped.
differently able.
Handyman.
He like starts breaking apart all of this stuff. He like takes a guy's cane, I think.
I saw those in the theater. They were so fun.
Do you remember when he's like, "I wonder what President Ford would have done"? Image of Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
We need to
I
rewatch them.
wish he'd
That'd be
become
great.
president and not done that in the couple.
No, I don't want Harrison Ford as president. It'd be kind of like our president now. At least, I mean, Harrison Ford could talk a little better.
Surely, Gary, Harrison Ford becoming president would have done less cultural damage than him doing another Indiana Jones film. Come on.
This is true.
surely.
This is true.
I agree. Right. Hold on.
I'm holding back on a joke right now.
Here
'cause
we
it's
go.
just
Okay.
Not a good time for it. There's just I had one ready to go, locked and loaded. I'm like, nope.
Dr. Quagsire with the $20 says, Part 1. I was trying to spruce up my living room, so I got a DC poster from Walmart. It has DC characters lined up and such. They're in the old comic style. When I got home and noticed Batgirl and Supergirl were in the middle. Sounds legit. They're the most important, so they should be. The Grizzly with a $20 says, the good thing about video games is that they're mostly non-union. A few AAA studios will strike at some point, but that's only 3 or 4 studios. Meanwhile, video games had a stellar year for releases in 2023 while movies burn. Well, you just saw what we posted about CD Projekt Red.
Yeah. There's a little parallel there between comic books and manga and movies and video games, but manga's got some woke shit too. It just does. So it depends on the studio, I guess. But video games are fragmented, and that industry is so fucking huge. It is. Hollywood is minuscule compared to it. Absolutely minuscule. That's why SAG wants to get into the video game industry so bad. And if I was a video game company, I wouldn't hire any voice actors. Are crazy for the most part. They are some of the craziest fucking people. Look what they put Vic through. Those are some fucking mentally deficient, like adult pretenders, but worse. Voice actors.
The human pretenders, mate.
For anime, for anime, it's the worst of the worst people.
And how many of the people that went after Vic, by the way, ended up being guilty of legit improprieties themselves?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. However, how much has been proven or actually brought against Vic? None.
Mark Hamill
nothing.
is a great example of a voice actor.
Oh,
fucking crazy. Yeah.
He's a great example of a human pretender.
Adult pretender. That's
adult pretender. God, that hurt actually because God damn it. I watched something on Kevin Conroy last night and
there's some good ones.
No, I mean, Kevin Conroy is just the best. He was just the absolute best. Somebody that came into the Batman the animated series, didn't know anything about superheroes.
Kevin,
he came in
on a
from
sitcom.
From the acting. He came through because of his love of acting and theater work. Actually,
he thought it would be this little gig, and it turned into be the gig of his life.
Of his life, and he learned to love not just Batman but superheroes and the fan base. And God, I love that man so much. And it was the hardest. It was the hardest role to cast. They pretty much cast everyone else relatively easy. The Joker was also a little bit, but they got Mark. But on Batman, they had a few ideas, and then one of the people on I don't know if it's Paul Dini or whoever, but somebody was speaking to somebody within the industry, and they just said, "Look, we got a few people, but anyone that you think we should see?" And he went, "I know a guy called Kevin Conroy. I think you should see him." Rest, as they say, is history, because nobody did it like Kevin Conroy. He is the definitive Batman. When I'm reading Batman, most of the time, the vast majority of the time, I will pretty much hear it in Kevin Conroy.
Definitive Batman voice for sure. Absolutely. The voice of Batman.
Dean Lawlate with a $5 says, "How does a non-binary samurai kill people? They slash them."
I get it.
They. Pretty good, actually, Dean. Syntho with a 20. Is that it? Yeah. Syntho with a 20 euro says, "Best thing to listen to while baking some apple pie."
It's getting that season.
Wow.
That sounds good.
Mahler, it's spooky season. I'm so
It truly is. It's already been wild. There's so many things that have come out and I got to do, and so many things are on the way. This month is insane for video games. Like we're getting shit
we got
tons of
Alan
releases.
Wake 2 coming out at the end of the month. I'm looking forward to Alan Wake 2.
Is it because it's leading up to holidays? Like, why did they pick now, or just because they're ready?
This is called Broketober is the name that they give to this month.
Okay.
Because so much comes out.
I totally knew that as a gamer. I totally.
You were just
it's just the
testing
best
us,
month
weren't
of
I
the
was
year.
just testing you. Yeah.
The best things happen. Like
Did I do
Loki
okay?
coming out.
You did okay.
Yeah, you got
Lords
that.
of
You
the
got
Fallen Friday.
City Skylines 2, I think. New Mario games coming out. You've got plenty of relative, like, because Liza P came out almost October, right? Was it the beginning of October?
Everybody's liking that. Like
end
everybody
of
loves that
September.
game. Why does everybody love that game?
Liza Penis?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought it was awesome. It's just
Why?
a sort of remix on the Souls genre, different sort of requirements and rules, but brand new world that's kind of interesting. Instead of AI run amok, it's puppets. They're puppet machines, and they're rising up against their masters. There's some fun stuff there.
That's cool.
There's build diversity that's always fun to do because like me as and Metal all play different campaigns. It's just kind of fun to watch different people play it. It might be that aspect. Good old challenging, rewarding when you beat the things. Kind of like Lord of the Rings Gollum. When you climb certain mountains, you feel a sense of achievement.
Hey, it's funny you bring that up. That's actually in my next video. Our little gameplay from Gollum.
Great.
Yeah, you guys are laughing. So you make a brief appearance.
Gary, I'm telling you now, you put it. If you haven't made a chat GDP apology for your gameplay, then you have missed out on that video, dude.
Oh, and yeah, if you didn't know, Gary, it's based around a Pinocchio, Liza P.
Yeah,
Liza P's Pinocchio.
They do a fucking Marvel end credits scene where they bait Dorothy at the end. Not even kidding. And with how much I like the game, I'm ready. Give me a Lies of Dorothy or whatever the fuck.
Lies of Oz? Lies of Oz?
Yeah, maybe. Well, because like, have you ever played the Alice the Madness Returns games? Alice?
No, but I heard it was really good.
So if they did that kind of thing, but with Dorothy, I guess that could probably work. I don't know what they're up to.
I think it could work wonderfully in Oz. I mean, did you see Return to Oz when you were? I saw that as a kid. Scared the fucking shit out of me.
Terrified me. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to doing movies for that.
You should see it on acid. Woo!
Whoa. The lady with the collection of heads, that shit sat with me for so long. In my head.
I love it. I freaking love it.
Oh, it's brilliant filmmaking, and it's just fucking creepy. They're all active human heads just looking, and it's just like, oh, fuck. And the wheelers, man.
Real quick, so yeah, the Golem people like AI'd their apology, GPT.
Yeah.
So,
GPT.
but they fucked it up.
Said they didn't even know about the apology, right?
What was that?
The developers didn't even know an apology had been written and released. That's what I remember reading.
Yeah, the game devs are like, we didn't know there was an apology and we think it's AI. So I did an AI apology from Amazon and the Rings of Power to the Fellowship. And they wrote it better. They wrote it a lot.
I was actually going to say, it comes across as how it would be written, kind of. Like, you read it and you're like, this is probably what they do. And did you notice how many people in your responses were like, wait, this isn't real, right? They didn't actually do this, right? wait, what?
I put like my first sentence is chat GPT apology. So
that's the thing. Yeah, people can miss some stuff. I just thought it was funny as fuck that the idea that some people are like, wait, did they apologize to you guys?
No. They should. They absolutely should. Disney should. Kurtzman Trek should. Everybody should. Hollywood should. Hollywood should apologize to America. I think it would go a long way. Actually, would.
Probably would. Yeah.
Yeah, an apology would. It wouldn't go amiss. By any stretch.
Yep.
Dr. Quagsire with a $20, and it's part 2 because there was the second part. While Superman, hold on, let's just quickly jump back to Batman. First part, Batman.
Well, the first part was Supergirl and Batgirl were in the center.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. There we go. Found you. While Superman and Batman are so in the background, I was amazed. Bizarro, I think that's meant to be. Bizarro has more visibility than his counterpart. Should I get another poster or leave it up because it looks like the old style, hell, real BBC. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, it's your money at the end of the day, buddy. And it all depends on who you want to have prominently displayed. If it's a good poster, if it's a fun poster, sure. But remember, they can put them can put as many characters in the forefront as they want. It doesn't affect sales, and it doesn't affect people liking them. You can push as many characters as you like Captain Marvel over and over again, Ms. Marvel over and over again, cancellation after cancellation after cancellation. The reason why it has multiple cancellations is because it's never going to pick on. It's never going to pick up. People aren't going to do it, not going to be invested. It's the company that's invested. The day that Warner cut DC off is the day that DC goes out of business. The day that Disney cut Marvel off is the day Marvel goes out of business. And they'll take the IP, but Marvel, and they'll take DC's IP, and then they'll close. And it'll be the end of an era. And it'll be an end of an era because they took the gun and they stuck it in their mouth and they could just kept shooting themselves in the fucking head over and over again. And then when it all goes down and that happens, because it will inevitably happen, and more likely DC first than Marvel, I guarantee you the people who destroyed the industry will take to social media en masse and they'll say, how did this happen? This is just, how could they do that? No. How could you do that to what you were entrusted with? How could you do that? I don't think there was ever any threat of DC closing down with Denny O'Neil in charge or Jeanette Kahn or...
Nope.
No, not really. Alexander Ducasse with the $2 says, "Your perfection. I love you guys." Thank you. Not perfection. Very, very flawed human being. Ministry of Wrong Think with the $10 says, "Wait a sec. So Wizards of the Coast got rid of all religious references except for Christian. That's Inquisition level based." Well, they got rid of witch, or I don't know if they have or they're contemplating it. Get rid of witch, shaman, and druid.
Oh, I heard about this bullshit. What? So what?
Nonsense.
Because witch is used to like offend women sometimes. Now it's too offensive in general. Like calling someone a witch.
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah.
Where are the point? Like these are some of the. If you were to totem pole like the offensive words in the world, someone can call you in a neutral environment. Calling someone a witch, like you fucking witch, you're like, oh man, I'm offended.
Yeah.
Like look at. Oh.
That's as mild as the weather is outside.
This is why art's dead. You know, they're self-editing themselves out of existence. Oh, we can't show violence to women. Well, there goes every action adventure movie ever. But it's okay to show it to men.
Of course.
All day long.
Of course.
All day fucking long. It's fine. We'll show it on the news. No problem. Can't do it in art, though. And yeah, there should be no limits. Like that's the whole point of this. You know, I hate personal politics and stuff like that, but there should be no limits. And then, the audience will decide.
Pick no limits over like these weird fucking limits any day. Like, yeah, sure, every once in a while you'll have something made that is like disgusting or weird, but I'll take that over everything being like hyper sanitized and boring.
Like, I don't like torture porn. I don't. It's not like I don't want the movies to be made though.
Yes.
Like, make the movies all day long.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you guys have your thing and
yeah, I got no problem with Saw 55,000 coming out.
Yeah.
At all. No.
I hope it does.
It's
again
not for
in
me.
it for the comedy, and I swear to God, you guys might appreciate the comedy.
I'm not judging. I'm literally doing it based off my just personal preference. I can understand. I mean, I can understand why somebody's into all that sort of business. That's theirs. You know, I get it. I wouldn't go, no, ban that sort of thing. No. It's taste. It's preference. We all have them. Because we're individuals. We all have different preferences.
Because why would you ban calling someone a witch? It's like, what the...
Because you're pathetic and you're broken and your ideology is so fucked up that you're so scared that somebody's going to have a go at your company because of current diverse download for the NPCs. It's an industry. It's an ideology based off fear. Complete and utter fear. Fear of cancellation, fear of rejection, fear of being pushed out of the social circle. It's all fear, fear, fear. Can't say the wrong thing. Must be so inclusive that I don't offend. Oh my God, where does it end? It doesn't. It goes on and on and on because that is intersectionality. And so you will get these stupid fucking decisions that they make, and they will continue. And then the Wizards of the Coast will lose more and more goodwill and more customers. But as long as they're ideologically leveled up, we got fucking white boys doing whole fucking theses on why orcs are racist. Take a look in the fucking mirror, bitch.
Yeah.
I never looked at an orc once in my life and went, well, that's kind of like a little bit like a black person to me. But apparently it's stunning and brave.
Yeah, that shit's insane.
Jeez, it's all insane, mate. It's a fucking ideology of insanity. Insanity.
It's like the people who look at the goblins in Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It's like, okay.
Saw that one as well. I'm like, Dean Lawlight is back with a $5. Says, have any of you listened to the album Space Rider by the band Starlord? It is really amazing and ask that you give it a listen if you have a chance. I have not. No idea. Tyler Reeves has been a member for 28 months. Thank you, Tyler. And Poopa Chulupa has been a member for 15 and says, will they race swap Balin for season 2? I think the question, Pooper, and I'll let my co-hosts have their own 10 cents after this. I think the question, dear lad, will be, will there be a season 2?
I think we know for a fucking fact that they are talking about how this did not get people going, that we gave Dave full control and he's used all of his characters and that it wasn't enough. People are not fucking into this. So now what? Now what is the fucking title of every meeting for every Disney media like meeting throughout the company now? It's so embarrassing. Yeah, because realistically speaking, loads of fans want to see what's going to happen in Ahsoka season 2, but it's just not many people, not enough people, certainly. I don't give a fuck because I already know whatever it is, it'll be horribly written and a rip-off of other things.
It's so undeniable that the corporate media can't even ignore it anymore. They just can't, and they're writing articles about it.
When we were watching the finale and Balin was standing on the Lord of the Rings reference, not the Theo was with
Pillars of Argonath.
Argonath, yeah.
And Theo was like going, oh no, and I was like, what? And he's like, that's the father, the son, and the daughter. They represent the father is balance in the Force, and they represent Mortis. And I was just like,
yep,
that's no. I ain't dealing with any of that shit. Are you kidding me? Like, I just want to go back to when Yoda was the main source of things about the Force and leave it there.
Unless you watched Rebels, you wouldn't know.
Well, but that's the thing. I don't even like it, right?
Or was it Clone Wars?
The Force.
I can't remember if it's Clone Wars or Rebels.
I'll go back to George, but this makes metachlorians look good. Like, we should never know where the Force comes from. It's just the fucking Force.
I don't
need the origin of the Force. I don't need the origin of Mordor. I don't need to know, like, when Luke's grandparents had sex. I don't care. Like, when are we gonna get the Jaws prequel where we see two sharks having sex and giving birth to Jaws? Like, what the fuck? Stop at the prequels.
Somebody just heard that idea, Garen went,
my God, that guy, he's onto something, yeah.
Yeah. You know, he might have something. Japanese Demon Lord, Aber Lucifer, with a $2 says, I see weebism in Gary's future. All are welcome.
Cheers.
I thought you already were a weeb.
Oh, I'm a massive weeb. But right slightly after how good of a gamer I am, though. It's no, I'm gonna watch. I'm waiting.
Aren't we all, darling?
But no, One Piece. I'm gonna start watching the anime soon. What I'm curious about. I don't know how many seasons are on Netflix, but if there's a lot of seasons, I'm wondering if that charts.
At least the first 200, right?
Right. But I'm wondering, I mean, considering how many episodes there are and how popular the show is, I'm wondering if One Piece on Netflix is going to start charting on the Nielsen's.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Grimnack has been a member for 15 months. Thank you. And Anonymous has been a member for 24 months. Thank you. Drurium with a $10 says, when the Council of Kangs is defeated, will the last one stand there and scream,
We was
"We
Kangs."
was Kangs"? Yes.
Okay, well, considering they've already done this in fucking Rick and Morty, riffing on the Council of Kangs and the Council of Reeds mainly.
Yes.
It's fucking dumb. Okay, it's dumb. Not a big fan of it in the comic books. It's going to be even dumber in live action, and when you have a bad guy get defeated over and over again, and it's supposed to be just a variant copy of that bad guy, we're not worried about him. We're not.
A little bit.
The only Kang I want to see is break up a girl fight Kang. Okay, that's the only one I want to see.
It was totally natural.
Totally natural. Not planned by a PR team at all.
Not
and to
at all.
suggest that would be racist and misogynist.
Yes. Which, fortunately, is what I... Anyway, Ragnar Dansfjord with a £5 says, "Sup, fellas, tried watching the new John Wick show. Should be called...
The Continental.
Wow.
Episode 2 onwards is non-stop whamming bosses with crying men."
Well, I didn't have high hopes for that show anyway.
No, we watched the
Comics
trailer.
and Odin really liked the first episode.
Yeah, we watched the trailer. The first episode is not bad, but judging from what we saw from the trailer, it looked like girl boss galore.
Yeah. Girl boss diversity galore.
Yep.
Magnum Norse with a $50 says, "The wrinkles on my ball sack are more eventful than Loki. So I shave and probe for prostate cancer, which is better than 2023 MCU.
Or 2022 or 2021
or 2020
or 2020. It's been 4 years, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That
been 4
damage
years.
has seeped right in. That's some stains in the carpet at this point.
And you can't get them out.
No.
And they smell.
They smell really bad.
Don't blacklight that room.
That's some piss shit, cum and spit all together.
That is a
Excellent.
crack house in Chicago, dude. That's what it is.
Berg Flicker with a $50 one. Exactly what we need. As the founder of Long and Gary, y'all are great. Comics, vinyl records, hot toys. When the bombs drop new currency, well, and VHS porn.
VHS porn will be the barter.
It will be, and physical media, physical media, physical media, physical media, physical media.
Dude, I'm making my own. Like when they don't make Blu-rays, I'm making my own. I've got
Burning.
I'm burning and got my cases and my printer, and I'm making my own.
Of course, because it'll be to save the environment. Berg Flicker with another 50. Part 2. Getting into 40k models. Read the books for years. Is there a third-party shipping service where I can get the models sent to the States? As do you have Streamlab? No. I do have PayPal, but not Streamlab. FYT skimming off you guys.
YouTube skimming. Yeah.
Oh, YouTube skimming off you guys. Yeah. Great morning. Like old school hanging out at the comic store. That's the vibe that we're going for. So
that's kind of the thing we're trying to do. So thanks for recognizing
we're
that.
trying to do. Huh?
That's it.
People standing around chatting away,
Chatting away
in a little
talking
bit of
some
a
shit.
geeky place.
That's right. That's right.
Talking some shit about some shitheads.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a PayPal link on the front page if you want to use that instead of super chatting. That's like 3% versus the 30% that YouTube. So that's entirely up to you, but I don't mind. I appreciate you. Jesus Davila has been a member for 21 months and a thumbs up. Right back at you, dude. Thank you, man. J Lock with a $10 says, "Gary, can you believe Sci-Fi will cancel Happy but keep Chucky going. That's because Chucky is a LGBTQ plus IA two-spirit ally.
Mm-hmm.
Bigot.
Awfully Shit Show turned into a horror icon into an alphabet antihero. Sax and Smoother was a dynamic duo. Colda was at least got pumpkin season. Got
But at least
Halloween
got
season.
pumpkin season. Yeah.
Happy, the first season is fucking great. Second season's pretty good. It gets dark and wacky, but it was based on a 4-issue series. And that's what it was it's like a really bad Santa Claus who does bad things to kids, and a kid is trapped. So that kid's imaginary friend, Happy, which is unfortunately voiced by Patton Oswalt, goes and gets a dad. Sorry, I just spoiled something. But goes and gets a hitman to save her.
I got some bad news, by the way. The Washington Post is
I'm in the comic, by the way.
sacking 240 people. Ah, that's a shame.
Who is?
Washington Post.
So sad. I get stabbed in the mouth with a scalpel in Happy issue 2.
Hey.
That's great.
And you're in The Boys as well.
I'm in The Boys as well. I'm in 2 issues of The Boys, at number 23 and number 37. I have the original art from those.
I have them. I have both of them. I have The Boys from issue 6 to about 52. So I do need to complete the first 5 and then the end. Drop there with a $5 says, I watched Ahsoka because sometimes when a train crashes and explodes, you can't look away. I can safely say Rings of Power is still a worse show because it was longer.
Yeah. Rings of Power, they were hour-long episodes, right?
Yeah.
That was painful.
Sometimes
Rings
a
of
little
Power
bit
is
more.
one of the worst shows ever made. I mean, we could say Blood
Pretty bad.
Origin, bad. Willow, probably pretty bad. I didn't watch the whole thing. Secret Invasion. But Rings of Power, man, for pound, destroying lore, doing predictably intersectional woke stuff to where people can see it miles away, and doing one of the most retarded things in the history of television, giving a land an origin with a font change that cannot be undersold. And it was a fucking terrible one at that. Like, they just used some office that, like, they just used whatever they got with their computer to, like, make their own. That's pretty fucking bad. She-Hulk's bad too. She-Hulk made the fans the bad guy.
But Gary, she was playing 4D chess because she's like, oh, I know that people are going to complain about this, so I'm going to make it actually about the people who are going to complain about this. So if you complained about this, then you're like, ha, gotcha. I was meant to be retarded all along.
Yeah, you know what? Jessica Gao did write a couple of episodes of Silicon Valley under the guise of under the control of Mike Judge, by the way. But she is a fat, alcoholic, terminally single cow who has no fucking life experience and doesn't have any comic book experience. And it showed. And had nothing but loathing for the fandom. That showed. So if she had studied and liked She-Hulk as much as she hated the Marvel Comics fans, maybe it would have been a good show, because that is one of Marvel's biggest fuck-ups of all time. You took one of your top 3 female characters and fucked her up when you had the template that would have been successful. Actually, a half-hour kind of comedy thing would have worked if you did it like John Byrne and not did a more intersectional version of freaking the male cow, Dan Slott. No, I love She-Hulk. She-Hulk's one of my favorite characters in Marvel, and that's why Mahler. That's why a lot of Marvel fans were mad. They're like, wait, you just completely fucked up a character we loved.
Yeah, I remember seeing a lot of references to how much better she can be handled, and that she kind of earned her place in terms of becoming liked, right? And it's
Paid her dues. Was in the Fantastic Four.
Oh, wow.
Just because you look at the camera and break the fourth wall does not make you John Byrne's writing in any shape, way, or form.
No, you do not do that kind of writing unless you're really fucking good. Deadpool. good.
And
She-Hulk,
most of the fourth
not
wall
good.
stuff with She-Hulk in the comic, John Byrne's comic, was her having to go at him.
Yep.
For putting her in those situations.
And it's trying to create levity because he was putting her in some sexualized situations. She's like, come on!
Come
you know,
on!
it's
What are you
funny.
doing? Come on! Crawling through the panel to get to him and shit.
Yep.
Oh, well. Japanese Demon Lord Aber Lucifer with the $5 says, congrats to Batgirl being DC's most successful movie since The Batman. This is correct. It lost the least amount of money by not being released and a tax write-off. Right.
Batgirl was the most profitable movie in the last 2 years. That's brilliant.
Apart from the Batman. But did the Batman make... I mean,
How
the
much did that
Batman,
make?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Which, I mean, if it was a budget of... Let's see
It was 200 million.
Yeah, let's see.
So
what
it
the
had to
split
make it probably with marketing $75 million it made.
$200 million budget did what? 770, 775.
You got to remember, they don't get 100% of the they don't get 100% of the take. Okay, that's what so many people forget. They don't get 100% of the take, and the percentage is way worse internationally than it is domestically.
Domestically, it's 50-50. In China, it's 25%.
So I will be
in Europe, it's 40%.
I will be generous and say $75 million that movie made. So you don't spend $200 million to make $75 million. The Batman was a disappointment.
I'd say it made about 150 million. I think.
I don't think anybody's clamoring for the sequel. I don't.
No,
see it.
I'm okay whenever it comes out.
Yeah, or if it never comes out, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm actually a sequel I vehemently probably still don't want, but I'm still curious enough to want to see Joker 2.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see that. I am it built up plenty of good faith with the first one for me to want to see this. Sure, there's some nerve-wracking things about it, with it being musical, with it being Harley Quinn, with it being kind of like a split dichotomy of him, because Joker and Arthur are on the same screen at the same time, so there's some sort of schizophrenic stuff going on.
You technically don't know,
but I'm
if it's all in his head or not.
I'm willing to give it a go, for sure. I'll go in there as open-minded as I possibly can, because I was very close-minded, admittedly, about Joker, but when it was announced.
I was like, we don't need this.
Trailer dropped. I was like, fuck.
That was a good trailer, man.
I was like, I didn't think I wanted. This is the film I didn't think I wanted to see that I want to see.
You and I talked about how much we didn't need a Joker origin. We didn't need this movie. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Yes.
And then I'm like, oh shit, it was.
And
really
then that's how you.
Yes.
That's how you stick it to somebody.
Yep.
By actually producing something that's brilliant. And I thought Joker was brilliant. I've seen it multiple times. I watch it again multiple times because it's such a good film. And I'm happy, more than happy to eat crow. You this isn't ego. My ego's fine. I would love for Jessica Gao to shove it in my face,
dude,
with how good She-Hulk is, or someone else shove it in my face with how good the Eternals would be, or Ant-Man would be. I'd love it. I'd love to turn around. I'm wrong.
I thought One Piece. I wasn't even gonna watch it. I wasn't even gonna fucking watch.
The trailer looked abysmal.
Yeah, the trailer was bad, and it was just because I was stuck on a fucking plane. I started watching a little bit of it, and then we were all together at the house getting ready for Friday Night Tights. We had a few hours to kill, so we're like, let's watch One Piece. And we all slowly, dude, I was watching with Adam, X-Ray Girl, Mark the Cyborg, Quarter Black Garrett, Shad. We were all like in this house, and we're like, oh, it's not terrible. We're kind of liking this. It's kind of like with House of the Dragon, Mahler.
Oh,
Which,
no.
another show I thought I was going to hate. I thought I was going to absolutely hate.
Yeah, same. Well, I thought I was going to be apathetic about it. And then I was worried it would fuck something up. And I think you can go back and check our stream after the first episode. I remember being like, I don't know. I don't feel anything. I'm kind of just meh.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, I guess I kind of like you and you and you and you. and how you interact there, and this happening. Oh, this series. Oh, you're such a look at you go.
He just wants to be a happy dad. Can't we just enjoy the vacation?
Yeah,
it's like that was so good. Yeah, we were just gonna, hey, let's stream the first show because what the fuck, Game of Thrones. So where we kind of met. Let's go back. Let's check it out. But we'll probably won't do any more. And then
now we're hyped for season 2.
Yep. I'm reading Redanian intelligence. I'm going to spoil. Well, I don't need spoilers. I know what happens, but I want to see like how they're going to shoot stuff. It looks like they got a little bigger budget. And I don't hate that it's not 10 episodes. I think 8 would probably be good because then we'll get more seasons, and also we'll get the seasons faster. What House of the Dragon is doing is what no other streaming show is doing, and this is their biggest mistake. And this is also what hurt Loki. You can't take 2 years in between shows. People just lose interest, no matter how popular your fucking show is.
I stand by the idea that when someone comes back into watching season 2, what the hell are they bringing with them? There is no like, can't wait to see if Bob manages to do the thing. It's like, no, there's nothing. I'm saying this in comparison to Ahsoka. At least if you go to season 2, be like, oh, I wonder where Balin's going. Maybe we can see what happens with that. Shin is the leader of those random
who
guys
gives a
now.
fuck?
Yeah, that's a different thing, though. I'm trying to say there's events happening. Loki's got none. I don't know what we're supposed to be expecting to happen next. And I think that's proven by the fact that this episode was all about the time loom. What the fuck is that? You pulled that out of your ass. Nobody knew about that before. When you're like, oh god, it's destructive. It's gonna blow up. Oh god, we got to stop it. It's like, oh okay, how do we do that? Oh, you got to do this and this and this and this and this. Oh okay. Oh, we did it.
And it's still a ramification, specifically talking about Loki, of something that happened in season 1 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so 2 years ago was just a setup. That's why your seasons have to have an arc. Your characters, we got to care about your characters. They have to have an arc too. And then you could set up season 2. But still, even if it's a massively popular show with certain, like Stranger Things, there's some massively popular shows that can take 2 years off. Most shows can't. 99.9% of the shows out there cannot take 2 years off. Look at the Wheel of Time. Nobody gives a fuck about the Wheel of Time. It was shitty. It took 2 years off, and they've lost half their audience, probably more. Same thing's going to happen to Rings of Power. They're going to lose half of the 30%, 37% who stuck around for the whole time.
They're going to lie
half
about
of them being YouTubers. What was that?
They'll just lie. It's Amazon. They'll just lie.
You mean like Disney lies? Well,
yeah.
We did get some
exactly
numbers for Loki over 3 days. 10.9 million people worldwide, as pointed out by our good friend Ryan, and as reported in other places. Loki, the first episode, domestically had 14 million viewers over the same period of time. So they've lost a lot of their audience. Half? Yeah, about half. That's not good, Mueller.
Gentlefolk.
And guess what? The universe is still unraveling, and we're still seeing it as a bunch of strings or a loom or a screen. But we're not seeing.
I just don't care.
They don't have the budget to show what they need to show.
Well, I think it's that most of the world stopped caring, or at least is caring less, a lot less than they used to. You had everything, and you threw it all away.
Now, Marvel's in apathy. We're past dead. We're past it.
Yeah.
It already happened.
I didn't want to watch this show. I didn't care at all. The only reason why I'm watching this show is because you need me to for Friday Night Tights. Otherwise, I wouldn't even fucking entertain it. But I already told you plenty in advance. You can go fuck yourself if you think I'm even contemplating watching What If Season 2. No, not happening.
I wouldn't make you watch What If.
I only saw the first 2 episodes of the first season. I didn't see much more than that.
No, I watched the first 3, maybe. I was done.
I saw clips of fucking Vision lasering Thanos in half.
Oh, yeah.
From one of the later episodes. It's like, motherfucker, if he could do that.
Ultron Vision, you mean?
What If?
Yeah, but still.
Great comic book. But what If started out as, what if Captain America was a girl? What if Star-Lord was a black man? I mean, it's like, fuck off.
Dude, that one was embarrassing, where everybody loves T'Challa and he solves all of the problems everywhere for all of time. He's just perfect. It's like,
that's called racism.
It's called.
That's good. That is
I
cool,
remember,
right?
I remember the
That's-
discussion around it. People were like, "This was embarrassing. This was just like you just wanted to portray him in basically the hyper positive manner instead of just a real character."
Yeah, because the racist.
Thanos is like, "Oh man, after a talk with you, I just realized I shouldn't be evil." It's like,
Yeah.
And I heard all the animated shows are getting axed. Like
Oh, that's
the ones in
okay.
production, they'll finish up and then they're all getting axed because they're too expensive. And
And shit.
Kevin Feige said he's going to slow the churn. He called it churn. That's
Oh.
what it is. It's churn. It's
It is,
chum.
though, isn't it? It is.
It's chum churning.
General folk, we're time at the bar. Time at the bar. Time at the bar, please.
very well.
Time
So
at the
everyone
bar?
who didn't get your super chat read out, I will read it out on Afternoon Tea with Az. I'll do a super chat square. We'll go through all those. Thank you so much indeed, and I'll give it the time that it deserves on Sunday. Morley! Anything you got coming up, good sir?
Tomorrow, episodes 7 and 8, Double Bill, Ahsoka, EFAP TV will come out. You can see what we thought of how that series came to an end. And then, oh, wait. Oh, fuck, no, it'll have to be Thursday? I don't even know, because Soul's coming out tomorrow. Maybe they both come out tomorrow. Who knows? I'll have to figure it out. The schedule keeps manipulating all over the place because I got so many different streams of videos to put out. I was talking to these fellas last week about that. It's so awkward. I've got so many things, but Moolah channel, things are coming. Woohoo!
Gary, what you got coming up? Video today?
Hopefully, I'm looking at what Perry's saying right now. Hopefully it's today. Then we got Garrett working on one that we're shooting for Thursday. But yeah, we got 2 in the works right now. I have to record the end of the one Garrett's working on, but we have 2 videos coming out in the next 3 or 4 days. One of them is the One Piece review that's looking it's a half an hour long.
And Thursday you'll be on Eric July's channel.
Thursday I'll be on Eric July's channel at 1:30 p.m. Central.
Cool. Tomorrow I'll be on Eric July's channel again. Consecutive weeks, 1:30 Central Time, 7:30 p.m. UK time. Friday Night Tights.
Our guest had to back out because he's going to a wedding, so
Who was
he's
it?
rescheduling. Sargon.
Oh, was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we'll reschedule. It's fine. We got Comic Book Girl 19. I'm talking to her tomorrow with Chris Gore.
On the Nuna.
Yeah.
Thursday, I might download the RoboCop demo and have a play on that.
Oh, did you say you're going to play Lords of the Fallen as well? I forgot what you said.
I'm gonna give it a try, and we'll see. We'll see if I gel with it.
Because you completed Elden Ring, right?
Yes,
So weird. That's
multiple
like
times.
that's like easily the heaviest, longest one out of all of them. And that's the one that you like. Have you completed the others? Because I know obviously.
Well, the reason why I think I completed Elden Ring was I was allowed to still like do plenty of exploration and level up at the same time, and I could sort of muscle a couple of bosses, depending on the weaponry, etc., etc. But I just thought Elden Ring had so much more to it than the kind of the more linear progression routes of like Lies of P and whatnot.
Did you ever play Bloodborne?
I did, and I got to the very final boss, and I couldn't defeat the final boss, but I only gave it a couple of tries. But I got to the very final boss on.
Do you mean Gurman?
The boss that was in the base.
Margot?
When you open up the gates and you go into the field or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be Gurman. Okay.
Yeah. I got there.
I would like to. Well, I would have been interested in seeing that playthrough because I love Bloodborne. It's awesome.
Been a long time since I played, but I might be up for redoing Bloodborne. Who knows? Friday Night Tights. And
We'll find somebody.
And things.
Yeah.
So thank you so much indeed, everyone who came to watch today. Mods, thank you so much indeed for giving up your free time. Everybody who super chatted, membered, gifted members, remembered. Thank you so much indeed for supporting the channel. Back on Gary's channel next week.
Right.
Until then, you take care Goodbye, boo.
Bye.
Ciao, Bella.